Hello everyone, and peace of Christ all of you. I hope my voice coming good and clear. Today I decided to change the time and come early. Supposedly we will be live 2 hours from now, but I decided to go very early. Today our topic is about what is Islam. If you search on the internet, you will find like a billion videos, and the Muhammadan, they try to explain to you supposedly what is Islam. But in reality, none of them even knows really what he is talking about, not a single one. We can prove it for you very easy. This is an example, and I find the most weirdo, stupid ones is the one who they are convert and they try to explain to you what Islam is. It's not the Muslims, it's those who convert. But if you listen to him, he is just a copy of somebody. He is Muslim by birth. You notice that all Muslims, they have the same answer, the same question, the same objection, the same acceptance. It's copy-paste. So what is Islam? Let us listen to this poor man and see what Islam is about.
Eternal, all-knowing, all-powerful creator that brought all of creation as we know it into existence. We refer to this creator as Allah. And Allah has all of the greatest names and attributes. The true reality of Allah is beyond human comprehension because he is completely perfect and absolutely unique in all of his attributes.
Just to show you the stupidity, he is trying to tell us who is Allah. And now he just said that because he's perfect, it's beyond your comprehension. What does that mean? I mean, that's the most stupid statement ever. The question is, the video title is, who is Allah? What he is telling us, he is describing things about this Allah, claiming that he is perfect. And because he's perfect, you cannot comprehend. I'm not sure how that works. You see, are you saying to me that the perfect Allah could not give you a perfect explanation of himself? Are you saying to me, Muhammadan, that your perfect God could not give a simple sentence to explain himself? So why you brag about the Quran? So Allah wrote the whole book to Muhammad, and yet he failed to make you understand who is Allah? So he's a perfect, okay? But we can debunk that in 2 seconds. Is the Quran perfect? The Quran is just a stupid book, fairy tale stories, sunset in murky water. The Muslims try to fix it. You see, if we go right now to the Quran, what the Muslims they want or do to fix the perfect word of Allah. Remember, Allah is perfect. When you say perfect, Allah should not say something stupid, right? I mean, he's perfect. So it doesn't make sense that he is perfect, but he say, and he makes stupid book. If we type there, oops, mistype, sorry. Chapter 18, verse number 86, it says that Allah speaking, the Jews, they came to Muhammad and they tricked him as usual. Muhammad is a stupid donkey. The Jews, they want to make fun of him as usual. That's why he hid them to death. So they said to him, Prophet Muhammad, can you tell us the name of the Prophet Zulqarnain? Can you tell us, the story of the Prophet Zulqarnain? The stupid Muhammad, he believed them that he is a prophet. He could not answer them right away, so he said, I will ask Allah. Took him a few weeks, and then he came with this. Now look at this. Remember, this is the perfect Allah speaking. If you go back in a few verses, you will see they are asking thee about Zulqarnain. First of all, I mean, have you ever heard of a God you do not know the name of the guy? Who is Zulqarnain? Is not a name. Zu in Arabic is like if somebody have a car, you say the one with the car. Somebody have a mole, you say the one with the mole. Somebody have let us say he have something, so you use dhu to make it attached to the person. So Dhul Qarnayn is the person with the two horn. Okay, who is this? Have you ever heard of a person with two horn? Is that for real? So nowhere it mentioned who is he. Look how perfect the story is. Secondly, they are asking you about Dhul Qarnayn. Say, I will recite to you something of his history. So who can recite the story better than Allah? Nobody. Because this is history preserved by Allah. Perfect history. And now Allah starts telling us that this man Allah established for him the way. So Dhul Qarnayn, which is Alexander the Great, he was a prophet of Allah, sent by Allah, and Allah established for him every mean, which means he supported him. We gave him the mean of everything. So he fought away until he reached the sitting place of the sun. See the perfect Quran? The perfect Quran telling us a perfect story that the sun, it has a sitting place. And this man, he kept going until he found where the sun set. But all of us, we knew that this is stupid, because there is no sitting place for a sun, and only donkeys will believe in that. So if the Quran is made by the perfect Allah, then Allah, he should make a perfect Quran. But stupid Quran and stupid and perfect Allah does not make sense, right? And then here it says, and he found it sitting in a spring of boiling water. Now, what the Muslims, you see, remember, Allah is perfect. And the Quran is perfect, according to Muslims. So what the Muslims, they say about this verse? They say, no. What the Quran is saying, that the sun appear to Dhul Qarnayn, it's set in murky water, murky boiling water. So as long Allah is perfect and Quran is perfect, so why we have to add appear to fix it and to mislead people? The story in front of us, there is no appear, there is no disappear, there is no such thing. Look at this guy Waqas. He is saying, I don't allow you. You are an idiot. I mean, I show you the verse saying abrogated in front of you, and you could not see in Waqas. You do not know your religion. You do not know how to read the verse. You cannot answer any question, and you want me to talk to you want to talk to me? Okay, Waqas, I will open Skype just for you. Guys, Waqas, he is desperate. Waqas, he can solve the problem and tell us who is Allah. And Waqas, remember, we will start with you where we stop. All right? So I will open Skype for Waqas. Okay, let me find you. I blocked you because you're a kid. Did you have your parents with you, Waqas? Or you're alone? I want you to get permission from your mom before you call me, because I don't want to be responsible for what will happen to you. Where is the Skype sitting? Let me see. What was your name, Waqas? Post your name. Post your name. That will save me from looking for it. Post your account in Skype. So I will call you just for for comedy. So the sitting place of the sun is found, and Dhul Qarnayn found it, but there is no way God, who is perfect, he will say such a stupid story. And then he found it sitting in a boiling spring. Zakir Naik, he says, brother Dhul Qarnayn, he said the water, but the brother that would appear to him. Okay, hold on. He said, if you go to the ocean, in the ocean you see the ocean. Abdul, what ocean? First of all, it doesn't say ocean. It says a spring of boiling water. Spring. There's no ocean. So this is how they try to manipulate the stupid Allah who claimed that he is perfect. If Allah is perfect, did he make a mistake? He wanted to say ocean, but he made it a spring? Is a spring is the same as an ocean? And how the sun can go in a spring anyway? And how the sun appear to be in a spring? Obviously, there's nothing about appearance and nothing about ocean. So what the Muhammadan they do, hey Waqas, where is your account? Send me, type your account again, because I need to unblock you. Waqas, you were excited a second ago. Put for me your account in Skype here. I will find you. All right? Just for a comedy. So as you see, the perfect Allah, the guy in the video is telling us Allah is perfect and you cannot comprehend. Well, how in the world this person is perfect and he says such a stupid, dummy thing? If you remember, Abdul's, they decide to explain to us. They said, when he said he found it, he is not reporting a find. It says, he found it. Go right now to any dictionary. What found mean? Does it say it appeared to him? All Muslim translation, and for me, I do not need translation. His name is Wiki? Really? This is his name? Man, sounds like a girly name. Okay, hold on. Let me find you. Hey guys, how many of you think that Waqas is going to tell us who is Allah? Do you think he will do it? Who want to bet? Hey Sheikh Ahmed, how are you doing, man? I did not see you for long. Good to see you, brother. Let me search for Wiki. This guy, he think really he's like, you know, he can. Wiki, there's a space 1987. There is a space between them. I could not find it. Maybe there's no space. Let me take the space off. Is the name there is Ahmed? Is that correct? Okay, I just send you hi, but I don't think this is the same name. It says Germany. You're in Germany, Waqas, or in Pakistan? Text me back if the one I text is you. Anyway, so the perfect Allah could not write a perfect book, and the book is full of stupid stories, and not to forget Gog and Magog, and he found where the sun rises, and etc. But remember, the question is, who is Allah? You see, Allah is perfect, Allah not perfect. Allah is tall, Allah is short. Allah is smart, Allah is... This is not who is Allah. We want to know who is Allah. Muslims don't know. They give you just attribute from the wind. And those attributes cannot even fit for him. Because simply, when you say perfect, perfect compared to who? What, you know, what the word perfect mean? And Allah obviously cannot be perfect. Why? You know, if you remember, we made the video just 2 days ago about Allah. He will write Quran better than the Quran. So if the Quran can be written better than the Quran, then the Quran is not perfect. One of the Muslims, he said in my previous video, he said, yes, Allah can write better Quran. But how Allah can write better Quran than the Quran of Allah? Here we will find the silly Quran saying, we make Quran, any verses we abrogate or we cause to be forgotten, we make something better or similar. Let us see. Chapter 2, verse 106. Nothing of our revelation do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, but we bring one better or similar. Was Allah perfect when He wrote the first Quran? And Allah will be perfect in the coming Quran? What is the perfection of Allah? Right? Let me see. This guy is not answering back. Waqas, did you text me? I texted you. I don't see you answering. Let me try to look for your name in the block list. I hope I will have patience with your stupidity. You know, sometimes you have limited patience with someone so stupid. And I have to admit, I mean, this Waqas is so dumb. I'm not insulting you, by the way. I'm just, I mean, dumb. That means you have a rank. You see the hadith, there's a weak, there's da'if, Hassan, you know. You are just dumb. Let us see. Blocked contact. Let us go. Blocked. Wiki, here we go. 1987. Okay. Wiki, text me. I found your name. Here we go. Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Waqas, do you hear me? All right. Can you speak louder, please? For some reason, I don't hear you very good. Huh?
Now it's okay.
Guys, do you hear me good? Hear him good or only me? I know for some reason. Go ahead,
I'm
talk.
talking with you.
Huh?
Okay. So today I have also question on Christianity.
Here we go. Don't
Can
change
you ask
topic.
me?
Don't change topic. Here we go. We start. So, was Allah writing? Because the question is, who is Allah? Why you are laughing? Are you making fun of Allah?
I'm making fun of your sense,
Okay.
but it's
Well,
okay.
no problem. You
So
can make
where you find that Allah writes?
Allah what?
Where do you find that Allah writes by
Right?
himself?
Ripes?
Yeah, you said that Allah writes.
Okay, hold on. People, they are saying your voice is not heard, not only me. So I need to change. Okay, speak now. Speak more.
Okay, so I want to say that how do you know that Allah writes with his hands?
Allah writes? I don't understand.
Right? Allah write Quran with his hands. How do you know?
Okay, okay. Well, how I do that? That's very easy. So are you sure he did not?
Yes, of course.
No, I'm not.
Because if you want to wait, if you want to understand the Quran,
Hmm.
then you must know the hadith. There is one
Okay.
hadith, Sahih hadith. I will give you the reference
Okay,
in
hold on.
which Allah says, I command the pen and he writes.
Okay.
A pen writes.
Okay. So is that mean that the one who wrote the Quran is not Allah?
That's written by Allah, but he commands,
It's
not written
okay. Okay, hold
with,
on. Did Allah
by
write the
any hands.
did Allah write the Torah by his hand?
No, everything he just command.
All right. If I show you that Allah he wrote the Torah by his hand, what you would do?
First of all, you give the answer
Don't
about
tell me
Quran,
first of
because you
all,
are claiming that
because
Quran,
no, you see,
you know the hadith.
you just
That's
show
why you are
you
just
just showed everybody.
jumping
I
from
know all
Quran
the
to
hadith.
Torah.
Listen. I know all the hadith. Your God Allah, the first thing He created the pen, and He told the pen to read, to write. We know that story. But you stupid idiot, according to your prophet, that the Allah He wrote the Torah by His hand, and now you are saying to me you don't like me to say Allah write the Quran by His hand. That means the Torah is more favorite to Allah than the Quran. Do you agree?
All the commandments from Allah, they are favorite to Him, because these were the commandments from Allah.
No, this is I'm asking you. So why Allah did not write the Quran by His hand, but He wrote the Torah by His hand?
That's your claim, brother. That's not our claim.
If this claim is true, what you would do?
We have to understand, if we want to understand something, then we have to put together all things, then we can easily understand.
And this is another question. What you will do if Allah wrote the Torah by His hand, but He refused to write the Torah by his,
in
the Quran by His hand?
in Quran, Allah says, I write the book, the Quran. But in other hand, then when Prophet Muhammad explained us in Hadith, he told us this is a metaphoric statement. Actually, he didn't write from his hand.
Okay, hold on.
He commanded.
It's
And
metaphorical,
if
right?
someone commanded,
Hold on.
then
Hold
in a way
on,
we can
hold
say
on,
that he writes.
hold on. Let us see if we can find this hadith here.
For example, I can give you the example.
Don't talk. Wait. We will show you the hadith.
No, I can give you the example.
No, don't give me example.
Today,
I will
if
give you the
writer,
example. Leave the example.
today, if some author of a book,
Leave the example for me. Wait. So now everybody heard you saying Allah did not write the Torah by His hand. This is metaphorical, correct?
yes, of course.
All right. Are you willing to show me the reference?
I can give you the reference of Quran.
No. Don't tell me. Quran says metaphorical.
Quran is the final revelation of Allah.
Allah in the Quran, He said He was joking when He said He wrote the Torah by His hand.
And do you know that in Hebrew,
don't change the topic.
Hebrew
Listen, here, listen, Waqas. I hang up on you many times because you
always use the word Allah.
Hold
in
on.
Hebrew language also.
Stupid. Listen. Don't change topic.
Don't
change topic. Abdul, you have a
Your
flight
God
of
name is
stop.
Allah.
Don't change the
In
topic.
Hebrew language also.
Don't change the topic. I have a hadith in front of you, and you need to give me the hadith. It says it's metaphorical.
Are you dare to?
Shut up.
Are you dare to talk
Shut up.
Christianity?
Shut up. Don't change
Are
topic.
you dare to
Here we
talk
go.
on Christianity?
Shut up. Don't change topic. It's
You
in
have
front
a
of.
balls.
Shut up. It's
You
in
have
front
a
of you.
balls.
It's in front of you. Allah, He wrote the Torah by His hand. Read it.
I'm from Skype. Wait.
Mute YouTube. Mute YouTube.
The Prophet said Moses argued
No,
with Adam
how
and
many
said,
hadith you want me to show you?
wait a minute. I know this. You are the one who got the people out of paradise. Okay. Oh, Adam, please, can you stop
Read.
so I can read one
Okay.
of these?
All right.
I heard Abu Huraira narrating that the Prophet said Adam and Musa debated, and Musa said to him, O Adam, you are our father, but have deprived us and caused us to be expelled from paradise because of your sin. Adam said to him, O Musa, Allah chose you to speak with, and he wrote the Torah for you with his own hands. Are you blaming me for something which Allah decreed for me 40 years before he created me? Thus Adam won the argument with Musa Further on, I want to read this further on. Thus
Okay.
Adam won the argument.
Okay.
Further on, I
Now,
want to read.
now, shut up and show me the hadith. It says
No, no, no,
shut up
no,
and
no.
show me the hadith. It says this was a metaphorical.
Wait a minute. First of all,
Shut
these
up.
hadiths have so many
Shut up.
things.
Shut up.
No,
Give
no,
me.
that's not how. That's not.
See this. You see why I
That's
hang up
not
on you?
working.
No, no.
Wait a minute.
You have to prove it to me.
You
This is
just
metaphorical.
okay. I will prove it. I will prove it. First of all, these all hadiths I will read. Then we can understand all the context.
No, no. Don't tell me a context. You see, you said to me, there's a hadith. It says the Prophet said this is metaphorical. Give me the hadith.
Okay, I will give you the hadith of Quran.
Hadith al-Quran, you stupid. Quran is a hadith now. Listen, give me the Quran.
No,
Okay,
I will give
okay,
you
no
the hadith,
problem, no problem.
which tells us that how
Okay,
Quran writes,
okay, okay, okay.
how Allah writes. It's a general statement.
Yes.
It's a general statement.
Dude, you're
Okay,
stupid. You see?
okay, I will give you the hadith.
Listen,
that will
don't make
prove
me
it
hang up on
that
you.
how God writes.
Don't make me
That will
hang.
prove it
Okay,
how
hold
God
on, hold
writes.
on, hold
That's a
on.
general statement.
Did Allah create Adam by his hands too or not?
Allah says to make us
Listen
understand.
to the question,
It
Abdul.
doesn't
Don't
mean
skip. Don't skip. Did Allah create Adam by his hand? Yes or no?
if you are saying like in this world we use our hands, no.
This is another question. Either you say yes or no. Did Allah create Adam by his hand?
How we use our hands to make something or to do something, we use our hands, these physical hands. But for there, that's not like in this world. We don't know.
So what is the answer now? He did not? Is the answer did not?
Yes, of course. If you
Okay.
are
Do you see
comparing it with this
why I
world,
hang up
then
on you?
not.
Do you see why I hang up on you? You are the most
If you are
stupid
comparing
idiot
this
kid.
world with God,
Listen,
then not.
if there is one Muslim in the world
If you
agree
are
with you,
comparing with
just
you
don't call me, man.
a
I have no
God, then
time.
not.
I have no time for kids. You are just a
I am
stupid.
giving you.
No, we don't accept an answer. Do you have somebody to support your answer?
Why you jump here and there? First,
Just shut up. We don't have time for kids here. When you see, when you are a kid, you can say anything you want. Anything. You can say no, you can say yes, you can say whatever. Do you see why I block you? I can get you busted in 2 seconds, you donkey. We have 1,000 videos made by Muslim sheikhs saying Allah created 3 things by his hands. Adam and the Torah, and he planted a tree. And then this idiot, actually four, some hadith says 4. And then this idiot, he says to me, no, they don't. No. Where? Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can find it in English. Hold on. Allah, I will type in Google, peace be upon him. Allah created 4 things using his hand. Here we go, I found it. Donkey, you are just a certified donkey. And I don't have time for kids. You see, when you speak to a little kid, someone like me will struggle with him because I can talk to this kid. How in the world I can go down to his level? Those people do not know anything about the religion. Allah may be glorified and exalted. He created Adam with his hand and breathed into him his soul, and he created him. Allah also created other created being, such as the angel and the jinn and other being, with his hands. Did he breathe into Adam's soul, created command for him? This is the question. So now we go down. All praise be to Allah. Remember, I asked him, Did he create Adam with his hand? Yes, it is. Anyway, if you read the whole in front of you, those all hadith support that yes, Allah, He wrote, you know, He used His hands in those items. Uh, uh, Here it says, and He planted, look, and He planted the Garden of Eden with His hands. Do you see it? So not only He wrote the Torah by His hand and created Adam by His hand, He planted all the Garden of Eden, which is Muhammad is copying even the name from our books, by His hand. But this donkey, he says, no. What I will do? What we will do? How you can talk to such people? We have no time for kids. So don't ever try to call me. You see, I said to myself today, maybe I will have patience to talk to you, but you're a donkey. And you say things, it's from the middle of nowhere. Every single Muslim knew that, yes, Allah, He did use that. Anyway. And they quote for you the hadith. And when I say to you, show me the hadith says this metaphorical, you said to me, I will show you a verse from the Quran, how Allah He create. Well, Allah in the Quran, you idiot, He says, He created Adam by His hands, literally. But anyway, let us go back to our topic. We thought he will be better. Maybe he took some medicine. Maybe he took some vitamin. But a donkey, you know, as the Chinese say, he left as a donkey, never come back as a horse. So we ask the Muslims, who is Allah? They tell us Allah is perfect. Who is Allah? Allah is all-knowing. Who is Allah? Allah is big. Who is Allah? Allah is there. But this is what this even have to do with the question. And as you see, the Quran is a very stupid book. It cannot be a book made by God. The first thing you should notice, if Allah is perfect, is He a perfect stupid? I mean, look at the guy is talking. He looks like he's high, taking drugs. Don't he look like a person he just get out from a surgery? So Allah is perfect. The second we check the Quran, we find that there is no perfection in this Allah. And what does even have to do with the question?
The reality of Allah is beyond human comprehension because He is completely perfect and absolutely unique in all of His attributes. Allah created the human being to worship Him and Him alone, as there is nothing worthy of worship except Him. He is the originator, the creator, and the sustainer of all that exists.
Look at this. This is Allah. Allah is the originator. Allah make furniture. Allah make trees. Allah make sun, the light. They don't know who's Allah. All of them, they are copy-paste of each other. Not a single one knows. Who is this idiot? They call him. They don't even know what Allah means. Not a single Muhammadan knew what the word Allah mean. Why? Because this is a foreign name. The same as they do not know what Israel mean. The same they do not know what Jibreel mean. The same they don't know what Mikael mean. The same they don't know what Ishmael mean. What Israel? What Isa mean? What Abraham mean? They don't know. All those are stolen names, and they don't know. Who is a Muslim? He don't throw things like this Abdul. He can call me and tell me who is Allah. Allah make basal. Allah make potatoes. Allah make onion. Allah make salad. Allah make okay. You know, are we talking about a God or a manufacturer? Same time, there's many gods exist in this world, and people claim that those gods are the one who made those things. Is that correct? There's a lot of religions. Every religion claims that their God is the one who created the sun and the light. So, but who is Allah? They don't know. What is Islam? They say to you submission, which is false. The Quran say clearly is surrender. Surrender to unknown. Because they do not know who is Allah. Same time we heard this idiot Waqas saying, Allah, he ordered the pen to write the Quran. Did you hear him saying that? Okay. So which one is older? The Torah or the Quran? Guys, you should, I mean, what is the first thing Allah created? Let us go to the hadith. Did Allah write his books in order or like it was messed up? How come Allah, when he decide to write the Torah, he use his hand, but already he have a pen and he command the pen to write? Read with me, brother, read. Yeah, this is about the pen of Allah. Allah wrote the you know, by the pen. Okay. Let us see. Read with me carefully. The first thing Allah created was the pen. And the funny is the word qalam is not in Arabic. And the word qalam is something created later, you know. I mean, this has nothing to do. What do you mean the first? The pen. The first pen was created by Allah. This is false. Then it says, he told it to write and ask him, and when it asked him what should write, he told it to write what was decree. Okay, what is the Quran? Write what is decree. But we will go to Waqas. He said that Allah commanded the pen to write the Quran. But that means the Quran written before the Torah. Maybe after Allah he wrote the Quran by the pen dried. And then Allah he have to use his hand. Or maybe the command is not working. The pen, electronic pen, like he's using Google voice command. And he ordered Google to write, and then, you know, it stopped. What we can do. So, who is Allah? We don't know. And why Allah need to write even the decree? You see, we heard the Abdul saying Allah is perfect. So how the perfect God who have a perfect memory need to write the decree? Human being write, I write, if I want to write to you. Or maybe God, he write for a human being, because a human being, he have a bad memory. Or a human being, he died. So his sons, his children, they will inherit the writing, no problem. But God write to himself. Why? Is he going to die next year and then his kids will read what he wrote? Is that because Allah have a very bad memory and he will forget what he wrote? This is story alone proving to us that Allah cannot be God and cannot be perfect. Because there is no way he is God and he need to write a diary for his own. Not only that. Allah, he said, according to Muhammad, that when Allah he wrote this tablet, his decree, he wrote it in tablet, and he put the tablet between the two eyes of the angel Israfil. Why? Because Allah don't want the angels to read it. And at the same time, he don't want anyone to steal the information. Look at this drama. He ordered the pen to write everything. And then, after the pen wrote everything in the tablet, Allah, He put the tablet between the eyebrows and the forehead of Israfil. Let me see if I can find the story of Israfil in this website, so we can laugh more. Let us see. You will notice that all those names Muhammad he learned from the Jews. Let me see. We cannot find it here, but we can find it in Arabic. Let us see where. See, I have a long list of all those hadith. All of them, they are speaking the same story. But I'm trying to find it in English. Let us see. Let's see in English. Here we go. Between the two eyes of the angel, I found in English. And this is the same website Waqas he gave me in the other day. So he cannot deny it. See why you are stupid? Here we go. Can you say now I don't accept this website? People will laugh at you. Here we go. So Allah, He commanded the pen to write the tablet, and then He put the tablet between the two eyes of Israfil. Why? Because first, Israfil is not trustworthy. He is a person, he's a bad boy. He might spy. So by doing that, Allah, He got rid of Israfil, because now Israfil cannot see it. Imagine somebody wrote something in your forehead. Can you read it? No. Can you look at it? Impossible. So Allah, He knew that Israfil is a very bad boy and he will try to read it. So He put it there. Number two, Israfil is so powerful. So now nobody can get closer to read the tablet. But the tablet is so big. The size of the tablet is the same distance between the earth and the heaven. And that is the size between the two eyebrows of the angel Jibreel. So now the perfect Allah, the Muslims who say He is a perfect, He wrote a tablet. In there He put all His commands. And he have his worry about guarding the tablet, because He don't want anyone to read it. But here you ask yourself, if Allah is the perfect God, do He need even all this security? Don't He say B is going to be? Allah command the shaitan to go down to earth. So who is going to spy and take the information from the tablet? And why he have a tablet? I want to ask all the Muhammadan here, who can answer us in the comment, if you don't mind, why Allah needed a tablet? I'm waiting for your answer. Look how many Abdul we have in the chat. Who is Abdul is smart enough to tell us why Allah needed a tablet? What do you think? Anyone? Any Muhammadan? Do you think even the Muslims dare to answer such a question? Until now, I don't see any answer. Look at them, how they excited they are, but they don't have an answer. Why Allah need to write His decree or His commands in a tablet? I'm waiting for the answer. Are you searching Google? Are you contacting your sheikh? What do you think? Salahuddin, the Kurdish boy, Salahuddin, he is worried about the book of Revelation. And now Salahuddin, he thinks that this is about adultery. Because Salahuddin is a Kurdish, he does not know how to read English. The one who was raping women, the Arab women. They are worried about Revelation now. Hey Salahuddin, instead of worry about Revelation, this is not our topic for now. And none of what you are saying there is what is meant, but you are a donkey like your prophet. Can you tell us why Allah need a tablet? Who is a Muslim can tell us why Allah need a tablet? Okay, Salahuddin. Well, you are busy with different topic. When you come back with our topic, you let us know. Any Muhammadan? They will post for you everything except the topic. Any Muhammadan? What do you think? Can you believe it? Not a single one of them dare to answer. Why Allah, if He is God, He need a tablet? Is that because of His perfection or because He have a defect? If I am God and I have a perfect memory, why I need to write a tablet for me? Not for you. This is for Allah. Anyone? Abu Zubaydah, I'm afraid of. Why you don't text me, Abu Zubaydah, in Skype? Text me. What's your name? I don't see anyone in Skype. His name is Abu Zubaydah. And why are you Abu Zubaydah? Zubaydah is a girl. Is that like normal for Muslim men? They call themselves Abu Zubaydah. Why you publish your daughter name everywhere? I thought it's haram. So text me, Abu Zubaydah. Text me. Let us see. Text me in Skype. I will call you. Abu Zubaydah. And until you text me in Skype, what about you tell us here in the text first? Why Allah need a tablet? Now everybody in town, he knew that you have a daughter, her name is Zubaydah. Are you looking for a husband or something? You know, you remind me of the Pakistani guy who was sent to Pakistan, sorry, to Saudi Arabia, the ambassador. And then the Saudi government, they refused him because of his name. Anyone remember what was his name? The biggest penis. I'm not joking. Those Muslims, they give themselves names. They don't know what their name, the Arabic names, you know. Let me search for it. Saudi Arabia refuse Pakistani ambassador due to his name. Hilarious, isn't it? I found it. What? Hold on, hold on. What his name is? What's wrong with this website? It's keep jumping. Pakistani ambassador rejected because of his name. What his name? Read in Arabic. Read in Arabic. Anyone who speaks Arabic, he knew what I'm talking about. Akbar Zib. Anyway, update news. Anyway, so let us go back now. By the way, this is the same story for Zakir Naik. The last name of Naik, Naik means the F word, literally. Like physically doing it now, you know, like now. You know, this is what Naik means. Ask any Arab. Anyway, it might be have a different meaning in his language. So now, who is the Muhammad who want to tell us why Allah have a tablet? Remember the Abdul, he mentioned that Allah is perfect. But how he is perfect? So he is perfect and he need a tablet? Why? Is that because of perfection or because of defection? You know, we human, we have a defect in memory. Yes, we forget. We have a defect. Our memory is not perfect, so we need to write numbers, we write names, we need to write dates, anything, you know. The only thing we don't write is something we use every day, like the name of your son, the name of your mother, you know. Those you do not need because you keep repeating them, so you don't forget them. But even those, by time, when you get very old, you forget the name of yourself. But why Allah, who is eternal, supposedly, he need to write to himself a tablet? Any Muhammadan? Isn't it this is a stupid statement to say that Allah, he wrote for himself a tablet? For himself. And the first thing Allah created is a pen. And he ordered a pen to write. I mean, can't his decree happen without a pen? What do you think? People, can't the decree of Allah occur without the pen and the tablet and writing the decree? Can't Allah make the decree in his mind? By the way, this is a different problem. Do Allah even have a mind? Just to show you how stupid Islam is. Hey Muslims, who dare to say Allah have a mind? Wait for the answer. You will not dare to answer. Muhammadan, do Allah have a mind? Not even in 1,000 years from now they will say yes. They don't dare. Because is able to write it down. Guys, Abu Zubaydah, he gave us an answer. Abu Zubaydah, is that your answer or the answer of Zubaydah? What the heck is that, man? Hey guys, Allah, he wrote the tablet because Allah, he is able to write it down. Abdul, why he wrote it down? What do you mean he's able? I mean, guys, do you see the intelligence? So Abu Zubaydah, he decided to answer us finally. Why Allah, he wrote the tablet? Because Allah, he is able to write it down. Look, what the heck is that? Are you serious? Allah was able to write it down, and that's why he wrote it down. You know, I thought about many answers, but I never thought that you will give me such a thing. This is headache, man. That this is above my expectation. Still, you did not answer me. Why Allah, he wrote it down? Why? What is the need? What is the purpose? He write it down, he write it up, no problem. But why Allah, he wrote it? What is the need? Is he having defect in memory? As long as nobody can read it, only him. What for this tablet is? If there's anyone can help Abu Zubaydah? And I added a question. I said, do Allah have a mind? By the way, in Muslim, if a Muslim he asks such a question about Allah have a mind, the Muslims will go crazy. What are you talking about, man? You cannot say that about Allah. So do Allah think? You don't even dare to say Allah think or not. Okay, Allah don't think. Do he think or he don't? They don't dare to say yes or no. They say Allah knows best. Okay, do Allah have mind? We do not know. Okay, so what do you know? What do you know about this so-called lah? Abu Zubaydah, is that your final answer? Allah, he wrote the tablet because he is able to write it down? That's it? The end of the auction? Who is a Muhammadan would like to help Abu Zubaydah? I don't know. I'm not convinced with this answer. So Allah, he sat down because he is able to sit down, not because he's tired. Allah, he breathed because he's able to breathe, not because he breathed. And Allah, he wrote a tablet because he, that's so good. Because Allah wanted to show us how powerful is. Hold on, this is a new one. I cannot believe it. Guys, this is the answer we are looking for. We got that from Google. Let us close this one and we go to the other one. Thank you, Abu Zubaydah. Thank you, my friend. I mean, that's amazing. Hey, Abu Zubaydah, from now on, you are an admin in my chat when I am not live on air. Okay? Kabich? As a reward for you. Guys, look at this. Because Allah wanted to show us how powerful he is, only a God can write such a big tablet. That's, man, it's so big, man. Do you see why Islam is made for those who they are taking drugs non-stop? Abdul, focus with me. You write things because you have a short memory. We don't care if it's big or small. Oh, hold on. Maybe Allah wrote it big because his eyes vision is not good, so he need to read. Like when people, they get older, They have a problem with reading small text. Is that the scenario? So going back to Allah is perfect. Okay, Allah is perfect, but we find out that Allah can't be perfect. I mean, the sperm coming from the backbone of the man. Women have a sperm coming from their ribs. The sun set in murky water. The sun set in place. Allah come down every third part of the night, which means the earth is flat. Allah made the earth as a carpet. The earth have edges. Anyway, continue. Maybe we can learn something from it. Who's Allah?
So to worship other than him is the worst of all actions. The first
Hold on. If you worship other than him is the worst of action. So why Allah, he ordered the angels to bow down to Adam? Allah can do whatever he wants. Don't make a big thing out of it. Okay. Well, a future millionaire. I can tell, obviously, you are already bankrupt. All right. You know, having a name in the internet that you are a future and a millionaire, proving to me that you don't have money for now, at least, right? But look what happened, my friend, future millionaire. If somebody says to me, because he can do whatever he wants, well, this is just to avoid the question, and obviously you have no answer. But who said that Allah can do whatever he wants? Can Allah have a son? I will go with you. The Quran say no. The Quran says, how can he have a son if he don't have a girlfriend? So who is the one who questioned his ability? Allah himself. Can he have a son? Allah in the Quran said no. Allah in the Quran said, how can he have a son if you don't have a girlfriend? Which means he is not almighty, not all capable, not all able. So to claim that he is able to do things, that is something proven to be false from the Quran. Here we find Allah saying, how can he have a son if he don't have a girlfriend? Oh, I'm typing in English, sorry. Okay. Let us see how Allah can have a son. Can he have a son? Remember this Abdul in the video, he says he is the originator of the heaven and the earth. Okay, but the originator of the heaven and the earth, he cannot originate a son without having a wife. He is a man like us. It's in front of you. Who is the one using can? The question, how can he? Is that the Christian saying that? No. Is that the Jews? No. How can he have a children when he has no girlfriend? The question is coming from Allah himself. Someone saying that he or she will joke about any religion except Islam. Is that because you are a potato coward? Why you want to joke about any religion except Islam? Why? Because you are a potato? Well, I joke about all religion. In the top is Islam. Do we have any Muhammadan here? Allah is not all-knowing. He do not know that he can really have a son without having a girlfriend if he have the power like the power of the God of Mary. The God of Mary, he can give Mary a son, he can give himself a son, yet he have no sex and he do not need a wife. That's our God. Your God cannot do that. Any Muhammadan? I'm waiting. Guys, look at this guy. You are the guy? Oh, you are the guy. Yes, I am the guy. And you're Sheikh Uthman, the ketchup boy. Do he dare to give me his Skype to call him right now? Guys, look at this. Like the Muslims. You are the guy? He's the guy. Yeah, I am the guy. Oh, your God don't dare to show here. And none of your... So, like, your Sheikh Uthman don't even know how to read the Quran, you idiot. Go and search how many videos Muslim made making fun of his reading. I mean, how does guy claim he have a master in the hadith and he is a sheikh, but he cannot read one sentence in the Quran? Abdulash Awan, oh, just saw your video. You are the guy who kept trying to interrupt Sheikh Uthman. You still lost the debate, by the way. What, interrupt Sheikh Uthman? Where? Yes. Oh boy. I love the Chinese when they said he left as a donkey, never came back as a horse. I'm not sure we're talking about who. Maybe Muhammad. Let us move this to trash. Too many screenshots on my screen. It doesn't fit for anything anymore. Do we have any Muhammad and can tell us? Then how Allah can be perfect, yet the perfect Allah cannot have a perfect son without having a perfect wife, a perfect female? Any Muhammadan? Why? He cannot have a son without having a wife. Anyone? Who created the pen for Allah? Allah created the pen. Yeah, Allah, He created the pen. Any Muhammadan? So, you know, actually, if you read this verse, what does that mean? That means Allah is a male, correct? Okay, if we ask the Muhammadan now, what is the gender of Allah? What do you think they will say? They will not dare to answer. Muslims, be my witness. What is the gender of Allah? They will not dare to answer. Okay, Muslims, say yes or no. Is he male? If he is male, give me one. If he is a female, give me two. If he is a none, give me three. Which means he is no male, no female. Give me three. I mean, that's easy. If he's a male, give me one. If he's a female, give me two. If he had no gender, give me three. I'm waiting. So what those people know about the religion? Muhammadan, if Allah is male, give me one. If Allah is a female, give me two. If he have no gender, give me three. Only Muslims, guys. Only Muslims. I don't want non-Muslims. Only Muslim, please. Only Muslims. Sorry. He have no gender. But that will be a problem because the Quran says, how can he have a son if he don't have a girlfriend? Correct? That is a bad answer. What the Quran implying, the Quran saying he. Do you see it? How many times it says he? It doesn't say the originator, it says he. Like if he said the originator without saying he, there's no gender. And not only that, he supported by saying, how can he have a son, yet he has no wife? So we have he And he need a wife in order to have a son. So what he is a male. Any Muhammadan? If you say to me that Allah is the all-perfect, he used the word he because it's not fit for him to be called she, and he need a word, that means Allah could not provide the perfect description of himself. Are you with me? Can't Allah produce a Quran and he can explain himself without using the word he? Here we go. Future millionaire. He is being smart. He is saying the God of the Bible is a man. Thank you very much. But we Christian, we believe in that. What the problem? Future millionaire. Obviously, you are buying the wrong stocks, my friend. So, guys, listen. The God of the Bible, you Bible Christians, it says he, because the Christian believe that the God is a man. Abdul, all the news. You never heard of someone, his name is Jesus? So Jesus is a man. So yeah, he. Isn't the Bible says that God created Adam in his image? He. We have no problem. But it's you Muslims. You go in the limbo. The second we say is Allah is a man. It's you who get dizzy. So you do not solve it. The Christian, they call their God he. Their God, he humbled himself and he took the image of a man. Wonderful. He came as a perfect man. Wonderful. Is Allah a man or not? So your God has testicles. Okay, are you saying to me that your God, Allah, he called himself he, and he is seeking a wife, but yet he don't have testicles? Hey, Abdul. So when Allah in the Quran says, Allah, he sent down the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit appeared to Mary as a perfect man, how in the word Holy Spirit and yet has testicles? I'm using your logic. So the God of the Christians have testicles, the God of Islam does not have testicles. What else? But yet he is he. So here we understand that Allah cannot be he. He must be she, because you just said your God does not have testicles. It's not me who said, it's you. I have all witnessing. Allah does not have testicles. You supposed to be making fun of our God. So our God have testicles. Your God does not have testicles. What? So why you go change the Quran? Call her she. Your God has no balls? What the heck? Ballsless? I don't know what kind of English this English is. Ballsless? Your God is ballsless. Oh boy. So what this drama about? How can he? So you see, we should change the verse. We should say, how can he have a son if he have no balls? That will make it perfect. All right, guys, from now on, this verse does not mean what it says. Allah, he wanted to say, how can he has a son, yet he has no balls? Now we are talking. Thank you, billionaire. So the one who wrote the verse, obviously, is corrupting the Quran. The Quran never says Allah has no, how can he have a son without a wife? No. He wanted to say, how can he have a son yet he have no balls? Because all of us, we knew that the balls will play a big role in making the semen. So now we understand the situation. Allah has no balls. Any of you Muslims have balls to call me and tell me, explain to me why Allah has no balls? And if He have no balls, so what the point of this verse? You should have changed it. Huh? Who of you have a balls, not like Allah, to call me? I feel sorry for you, Muslims. So you call him all this time, he, and he is not even having balls? He does not? Ballsless? Is that coming from the word Rosalie? Any Muhammadan? Guys, do you like this time? Is this time is good? Is this time is good or is too early? And please show respect to the balls of Allah. The Muslim, they will burn cities for the balls of Allah. Don't insult his balls. Just hit him there. Oh, you cannot hit his balls. He'd have no balls. You know? Like once a Muslim, he supposedly want to expose Christianity. He said that in the Bible, in the Old Testament, it says if a woman, she hold the balls of a man, we cut her hand. Man. So I said to him, so in Islam, if your wife, she hold my balls, it's okay? What a silly... Muslim women, they wear hijab, but there is no punishment for a Muslim woman to play with the man balls. In Judaism, if a woman, she hold the balls of a strange man, they cut her hand. Abdul, you are texting the wrong Skype, Abu Zubaydah. Wrong Skype. You know, my Skype is on. I don't see you. Do we have any Muhammadan here who would like to join us? He has balls, not like his God, ballsless. Now, billionaire, maybe he think he should not mention this, you know, but it's too late. It's recorded. Now everybody knows. Thank you for mentioning. You know what? We spoke many times about Allah. We never mentioned that Allah have no balls, but it's true. Ask any Muslim, is he a male? They will say no. Okay, is he a female? They will say no. What he is? Why you call him he then? Same time, if he is not a male, neither a female, he should not say this verse. He should say, how can I have a son if I don't have sex? I don't have gender. If I'm not a human. If I'm not a man. That would make sense. But look what he says. How can I have a son if I don't have a girlfriend? What is my Skype? Okay, let me pause for you my Skype. Just for you, Abu Zubaydah. For the sake of Zubaydah. Peace be upon her. All right, here we go. This is my Skype. I think the Skype and the info is the same here, right? Text me. Tell me I am Abu Zubaydah. So Allah is a perfect God, but Allah, He cannot have a perfect ability to have a son because He has no balls, He have no wife. He is the originator of the earth of the heaven, but He cannot originate a son without having a wife. Interesting. God of the Christians, He can have a son without having a girlfriend. He can have a son without having a wife. He can have a son without having sex. God of Islam, He have no balls, and the Muslims are our witnesses for that. What else, Muhammadan, can you give us from your treasure? Anyone? Let me see if Abu Zubaydah texted me. I don't see still anything from Abu Zubaydah. Nothing. I am a Christian. No, I did not say Christians. I said Muslims. We don't want Christians to call us now. Please, Muslims only. Abu Zubaydah, are you there? Okay, well, Abu Zubaydah, obviously, he have no balls to call me. Let's go back to the video. Maybe he can tell us something we do not know about Allah. Shall we? Let us see. The video getting interesting. Look, the guy is in drugs. You can tell he is high. Tell us more, tell us more.
The first human Allah created was Adam. And from Adam, Allah created his wife. And from them both, He's created many men and women that have filled the earth to this day.
That's it. The whole story. That's Allah. He created Adam and then created Eve and then, hold on. What do you mean He created from them as many? Let us go to the hadith. According to the stupid Muhammad, when Adam had sex with Eve, he did not know how to do it. So always Eve, she lose her baby. Why? Because Adam, he don't stop having sex with her even when she carry a baby in her womb. Like the guy, he is horny, like yes, Adam, you know, I have a baby. So Eve, each time she gave, she carry a child, he died. Then Shaitan, he told her, listen, your God cannot save your children. If you name your son the slave of Shaitan, Abdul Harith, he will live. Let us see if we can find the hadith. Adam, imagine guys, Adam. His first son, his name is the slave of Shaitan. Let us see. Which means all the stories Muslims they have is false about Adam and Eve. Let us see if we can find this one here. Here we go. The Prophet of Allah said, when Hawa, which means Eve, become a pregnant, Iblis, which means Shaitan, the first Shaitan, came to her and her children would not live after birth. So he said, Noim him Abdul Harith. Abdul Harith mean, Abd means slave, black slave. Al-Harith, Shaitan. One of the names of Shaitan. Name him Abdul Harith. So she named him and he lived. What the heck? So the story Muslim they have about Cain and Abel is false because the first son of Adam who lived, it was the slave of Shaitan. It's in front of you. Guys, Abu Zubaydah, he texted me. Look, Abu Zubaydah, what? Abu Zubaydah. I mean, your daughter. Now I know your daughter name, but I will not insult your daughter. Listen, why you are insulting my mother? Maybe she is not alive. Maybe she's a very old woman. Do you want to insult your mother? Is that what you want? Okay, your mother is a whore. Are you happy now? You asked me for it. But by the way, a Muslim whore, she is a good whore for Allah. She will go to heaven. In the Quran, Allah, He forgive all sin except to associate with Him. So your mother, she is a whore, she is a truck whore, she is the bike of the town, she is going to the heaven of Allah. Now what she will do in the heaven of Allah? Boom, boom. Unbelievable. Zakir Naik, a woman, she Zakir Naik. How come Muslim man, he would have 72 women? What about women? He said to her, Allah in the Quran, he said that whore in the plural word. Whore means women and the men. So send Allah sister, Allah will send you 72 men. So your sister, she will be effed by 72 men in heaven. And your wife too. You will be watching. Do you enjoy watching your wife being effed by 72 men? Imp? Anyway, I mean, imagine how filthy stupid this cult is. He said to the women, you will get effed by 72 men. And all the Muslims are happy. A religion of pimps. 72 men, you will F your mama? What about 71? What if she cannot, what if she cannot handle 71? 72. Why? 70. By the way, this is the lowest reward. Huh? And like, brother, contemporary, you know, the Muslim like, oh, wow, look, this is smart. Look at the answer. The answer is so good. It's amazing. Zakir Naik, like, what the heck? Is Zakir Naik, is he really born from natural birth? I mean, is he really from this earth? Or is an alien? I don't know. I heard that fertilizer is not working in his beard. Hey, Waqas, your beard is way better than Zakir Naik. I mean, give him some, man. It's not even fair. Do we have any Muhammadan? So Hawa, so who is the first son of Adam? So now all the children of Adam, they are the children of a man, his name, the slave of Shaitan. And Allah could not make Adam have children. Shaitan, he was able. It's in front of you. You know, once a Muslim, he called me, and I showed him this hadith. He said to me, Christian Prince, first of all, it doesn't say he's son of Satan. It says Abdul Harith. I said, Abdul, listen. Harith is Shaitan. He said, Christian Prince, Shaitan, his name is Satan. His name is not Abdul Harith. Abdul, listen. Okay, what about you go and ask some sheikh? They will tell you that this is the name of Shaitan. This is another name. Christian Prince, you are a stupid donkey. I am a sheikh. I'm a sheikh. I said, Abdul, you are a sheikh? Are you sure? Yes, I'm a sheikh. The guy who opened his camera for a second, and yeah, he have a long beard. He turned it off right away. And then, well, he's a sheikh. I said, okay, so you do not know that Abdul Harith means the slave of Shaitan? He said, Christian Prince, I swear by Allah, you are a liar. I said, Abdul, listen. It's in front of you, it says. Who is the one who asked her to name him Abdul Harith? He said, Iblis. Okay. Why Iblis asked her to name him Abdul Harith? Abdul, he started thinking now. Tuk, 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 the clock is going. He said, are you there? He said, he told her to name him Abdul Harith, yeah. Okay, but why? Why he chose that she should name him that name, and if she named him that name, the son will survive. Why? The sheikh, he is thinking. I said, you know, so you're a sheikh, you should know. And then he said, okay, hold on. I will be back to you. And he left, and he never come back since then. And by the way, this reminded me, once it was, I think, Christmas time, I was debating a Muslim, and he apologized. He needed to go to the bathroom, and he's a sheikh. Guys, that was like 20 years ago. Until now, he never come back. So the perfect Allah, he could not save the children of Eve and Adam. But Shaitan, was able to make him live because Eve and Adam called him the slave of Shaitan? So the father of Muhammad, his name is slave of Shaitan? Yeah, this is the first man, the first son of Adam. She named all her children slaves of Shaitan so they can live. In fact, you see all those Arab when they name their children with animal names. As an example, Usama. Usama mean lion. Why they use that name? Because those Arab, they love and they live in superstition religion. They believe if they call their son a name of an animal, he live. Especially if the animal eat meat. That's why the grandfather of Muhammad, his name is Kilab, which means dogs. The last name of Muhammad is dogs. The wife of Muhammad, the one she was married to his son, her name is Zainab bint Jahsh. Zainab, the daughter of the donkey. You will find a lot of names in Arabic, all of them connected to animals, because they believe that if they name them animal names, Shaitan will not kill them. And those names connected to Shaitan anyway. That's why he don't kill them, because they are evil animals, like they do bad stuff. Any Muhammadan? So what we learned today, Allah has no balls. We are so glad for that. Hi CP, do you where I can do Bible study online? Do you know where you can do Bible study? My friend asked this question here. There's many channels, they can join them. I'm not here to teach you the Bible, my friend. I'm here to get Muhammad and Islam busted. Do we have any Muhammadan? So Allah has no balls, Muslims has no balls, Jibreel has no balls. The only one have balls is Aisha. You know, even the Quran, by the way, make fun of Muhammad because he has no balls. If you go in the Quran, there's a chapter at the end of the Quran speaking about Muhammad, he cannot make babies. And supposedly, this man in the chapter Al-Kawthar, he said to Muhammad, you are cut off. Cut off from what? The Muslim cut off is say cut off from offspring. No. Abtar. Abtar mean he don't have a penis. He don't have a penis. It mean at the end, yes, he don't have children. But it says you are cut off. And look what the Muslim they do. They add between the bracket from every good thing in this world. What a good thing. This is about his penis. Abtar. You change the translator. Let us see Biktal. See? We just change the translator. He is cut off. He don't have a penis. Even Muhammad in the hadith, he said he was the most weak person between all mankind. And then he invoked Allah, and then Allah, he sent him a dish of shish kebab. He ate it, and he got the power of 40 men in Ifin. And that's why in the Middle East, all of us Arab, we eat shish kebab non-stop in the morning, day, noon time, at night. Still, they have to buy Viagra because nothing is working. Yeah, number one in the world who buy Viagras is Muslim countries, especially Middle East too. The one who says to you, you are cut off, he is cut off. Okay, I mean, look at this Quran. This is Quran from God. God saying that the one he is saying to you, you are cut off, he is cut off. And it's like my grandma speaking to the other grandma So they are like 110 years old. Ghosts have been fighting about the neighbor. You are cut off. No, you are cut off. No, you are cut off. May Allah cut you off. As it must be from God. This is how true God speaks. Look at this chapter. Look at this. Who can make a chapter like this? By the way, don't forget to watch the video I made today. I made 2 in the last 2 days. Go watch them. Otherwise, I swear by the shin of Allah, I will cut off every one of you. I know this will threat me nothing to women. Oh boy. Listen, men. If you don't watch my previous videos, I will cut you off. Literally. Okay? Yeah, go right now. Abdul, was Muhammad cut off? He don't have kids. Muhammad, he could not have one child. All the stories about Muhammad having children, it's false. Listen, how many wives Muhammad he had? According to Muslims, 13. How many slave girls sleeping with? Nobody knows. I have a list of more than 70 something slaves he owned. But how many slaves he slept with, we do not know. Not a single child he had. You see, if Muhammad can have kids, every woman he sleep with, she should produce. I mean, if the woman is fine, especially many of those, actually all those women, they used to have a husband and they have kids. The only children Muhammad he have is from Khadija, which is not his own. He is the stepfather. Islam, CP, is only trying to see Islam error, that's all. That's what I'm trying to say. How is that? I'm trying? Oh, okay, Tim, thank you. I don't know why your text is hidden. I wanted, guys, Christian Prince is trying to see Islam error, that's all. That's deep. Tim, my friend, I will make you an admin in the chat of Zakir Naik. That's it. From now on, you are an admin there, brother. This is what Christian Prince trying? I do not need to try. It take me 1 second to find it. It's in front of you. There's no way God will do this. The one who says to you are cut off, he is cut off. Can't this God do something about it? He should refute him and he give Muhammad 10,000 kids. Correct, guys? The easiest refutation for this claim is to make Muhammad have tens of babies every few weeks. Muhammad, he have many wives. The guy, he have 13 wives. So every 9 months, he should have 13 babies. You do not need a drama. Just to flood him with babies. Hold on. Isn't it the hadith says that when a man, he came to Imam Ja'far and he asked him, he said, my wife, she don't give babies, boys. She give only girls. The Imam, he said, you, when you have boom boom with your wife, you come to her from her back. You put your hand around her waist and you push so hard, and then when you push it, excuse me, you spank her ass and you scream, Ya Ali. And you do that 7 times. Remember, 7 times. The Abdul went home. He made his wife bend over. He started his business. Each time he push it in, he spank her and he screamed so loud, Ya Ali. He did that 7 times and he stopped. And brother, you believe it or not, his wife, she gave him 7 boys. 7 boys. Just say Ya Ali. As simple as that. You don't even need to have orgasm. The guy did not have orgasm. He just pushed it 7 times and he stopped. Do you need orgasm? No. Just push it there, spank her, and by the way, you have to make it so loud, like Ya Ali, boom, Ya Ali, boom, 7 times. You do it 8, Oh boy, big mistake. You do it 6, blank shooting. You have to be careful. 7 times, and the wife have to be spanked so hard, like your finger will leave marked. Hey boys, don't do that. Okay, I'm joking. This is stupid, Mohammed. Don't do those stuff. Oh boy. That's stupid garbage religion. Yeah, Ali, huh? Oh boy. And the funny is, Ali have only 2 sons. Like Ali himself, he could not have 7 boys. Isn't it funny that the one who will make you have boys, he himself could not have them? Ali himself, he have 2 boys only. So if we scream, yeah, Ali, and we spank the wife, and they will have 7 boys, then how come Ali could not have it? Oh boy. What a dirty, stupid religion. Do you see why I don't speak about the Bible here? I mean, we cannot mix this with this. This is a messed up cult. And now I know why the Muslims are not here. They are spanking their wives and screaming for Ali, and Ali never come. Any Muhammadan want to tell us who's Allah beside Ali spanking story? So Allah don't have balls. Allah cannot have sons. Allah cannot do it because he don't have a wife and he don't have balls. What a messed up God. What else? What else about Allah? There's something special about him. Maybe, hold on, maybe we miss it. Let us see what this guy, look at this guy. I mean, this guy is taking hashish, no question. Look at this. I mean, and the beard, look, the hair of the beard, every single hair going in different direction. I mean, this GPS is made in China. Look at this GPS. Beard in the east, like one hair here. I mean, yeah, well, they're done, bro. What we can do. They are not going good. Okay, go. What else?
Day. But Allah did not leave the human being without guidance. Rather, throughout time, He's communicated with us through
He did not leave us without guidance. Allah, He did not. Okay, oh, what happened?
special people we know as prophets and messengers.
But isn't it Allah, He said, He is the one who mislead us? So what do you mean He did not leave us without guidance? Listen. In the Quran, Allah, He said that Allah, He offer Islam to the heaven and to the earth. And the mountains and etc. But they refuse. They don't trust Allah. The man, he accepted the trust of Allah and he was an idiot. Read it. Chapter 33, verse number 72. Lu, what the heck? In Arabic, we have Lu. Since when? I mean, Muslims, how you Muslim translate إذا أردنا? Like, what the heck is that? Lu, inna. This is here, it says inna. It became Lu. We offered what Lu? You are adding word to the Quran. May Allah Lu you. So we offered the trust into the heaven and the earth and the hills, but they shank from bearing it. And the man accepted and he was a fool. Hold on. So Allah, He offered His trust to the mountain and the earth and the hills, and they refused. And the man, he accepted the trust of Allah, and he was a fool. Okay, where Muslims can find how man accepted the trust of Allah. Like, did Allah created Adam and He started explaining to him that He is God, And you know, he, Adam, can I trust you? Now you convert to Islam, Adam. And Adam, where? I mean, the guy, he have no choice. He created him. He says, live in the garden. Did he even give him a class in religion? Did he give him a Quran? And why the man? He was a foolish. Why? Because he trusted Allah. What the hadith says. لا آمن مكر الله. I don't feel safe from the deception of Allah. Who said that? Muslims, who said that? Muhammad says that. And the Quran says that. The only one who trusts or feels safe from the deception of Allah is the stupid ones. Is that right? Absolutely. That's what the Quran is saying. Chapter 7, verse number 99. Do they feel secure against Allah divising? Divising? What is that? Deception. Makr in Arabic means deception. None feel secure from Allah deception but those who they are stupid, losers. Which means the true smart one is the one who don't feel secure dealing with Allah. The one who feels secure is the loser. Secure from what? From the deception of Allah. And those are the Muslims. Because we Christians, we don't trust Allah anyway. Who is the one who trusts Allah? The Muslims. It's in front of you. And you will see how Muhammadan tried their best to change the meaning by using different words. But in Arabic it says makara. Makar, makkar, mean the one who deceive and the one who lie and the one who cheat and the one who fool. Simply, it's a scam. The one who scam you, the one who make you believe in something not true. Like in Arabic we say al-thalab al-makkar. Thalab is the fox. Makkar is the deceiver. If you don't believe me, ask any Muslim who speaks Arabic. This is the title of the Thalab, which is the fox. He is deceiver. And actually, me myself, I experience how smart fox is. Like when you are a kid, you see stories in the book about the fox, how smart he is, but it's true. Once I was hunting, and then when we went to grab the fox, he lay down. He lay down dead. He is a perfect actor. Unbelievable. He played dead until we get so close to him, and now we cannot shoot. He took us on surprise. Suddenly he jumped and he ran. Perfect. And there is not even a single drop of blood on him. Like we thought maybe he is injured. Maybe he fainted or something, and now he woke up. No, not a single drop of blood. Smart. But that is a fox, an animal he deceived to eat, to live, to survive. Allah he deceived for what reason? So the Quran says, only stupid ones is the one who feels secure from Allah. Do we have any Muhammadan? All right. Well, look like we don't have customers for today. I hope you guys enjoy the timing. We will try to do more in such a time in the future. And I'm trying my best to, make the time mix between here and there, so we can have people from different territories and areas in the world, they can join us. Anyone have any question about the topic we mentioned today? So guys, are you able to recognize who is Allah? Allah, according to the conclusion, Allah has no balls. Allah, He wrote a tablet because He can. Allah, He need to remember. Why Allah, He created the pen to write the tablet? He don't want to get tired. Why Allah, He wrote the Torah by His hand but not the Quran? All those questions Muslim cannot answer because this is just a mix of silly, stupid legends together. Muhammad, he heard the stories and he put them together, and then the Muslim, they have to survive with it. Maybe next time we go live, Muslims will have the balls to call me and tell me Allah has balls. No, I'm serious. I'm not joking. If you ask any Muhammadan, what is the gender of Allah? They will not dare to answer. They will not dare to answer. They will not dare to say even He have no gender. You see, the Quran keeps saying He. The Quran saying, how can He have a son if He don't have a girlfriend? It doesn't say how He can have a son if He is not a human. It doesn't say how can He have a son if He is not physical. No, it says how He, which is a word used for male, can have a son without having a girlfriend. So the verse is so clear. He is a male and he needs a girlfriend, and that will make him able to have a son. Without the girlfriend, he cannot have a son. Very simple. He, the word He, is not a metaphorical no more. Same time, why He need to use it anyway? Can't Allah, who Muslims claim that He is above languages, cannot He present Himself without saying He? There's no replacement for He? The God of the Bible, is so clear. God created Adam in His image. In His image, we created him. That's it. Very simple. But because Muhammad is a thief, he copies stories from the Bible, and those made the problems, big problems for the Muhammadan. Muhammad, he copied the story of the virgin birth of Jesus. But this is a big problem. Because why only Jesus? What is the point of this miracle? Nothing. Your mother, she can claim that she was virgin. My mother, she can claim that she was virgin when she gave birth to me. But this will be useless. Only in Christianity, the virgin birth of Jesus is making sense. In Islam, it doesn't make sense. What for? Who witnessed the miracle? What is that? How you can prove it or disapprove it? A woman, she is given baby, that's it. And why? Why only Jesus is born of a virgin? There's no other person in the whole universe. The Quran is stupid. He says that Jesus is the same as Adam. No, he's not. Adam is created from mud. Jesus is not. The Muslim will say to you, well, Adam is not born, you idiot. The only one is born. He have no father physically by sex, is Jesus. And the Quran says, وَجَعَلْنَاهُ نَسَبًا وَصِهْرًا. What does that mean? Every human being after Adam is coming from sexual intercourse and marriage. Every human being after Adam. And this is contradiction for the story of Jesus. Muhammad, he forgot that already he accepted that Jesus was born of a virgin. He created every human being from water and has granted them ties of blood as well as marriage. Translation is not accurate, but we will go with it. فَجَعَلْنَاهُ نَسَبًا وَصِهْرًا. And by the way, the same verse, if you read it, you will see in the interpretation saying that you can have sex with your daughter from your blood if she is not a daughter from marriage, because Islam considers only marriage as a lineage of a blood. Only marriage. So if you have a daughter, she is not from marriage. Islam forbids you from having sex with daughter. Let's make it clear. But A daughter from marriage. If you have a daughter from a girlfriend, you can have sex with your daughter and her mother, which is your girlfriend, same time. She's not your daughter. A child is born from illegal sexual relationship, cannot inherit the name of the father, the money of the father, or a child support. Period. And will not be forbidden the Muslim man from having sex with his own child. If you don't believe me, open Al-Qurtubi right now and read it. Go ahead. Any Muslim, I challenge you all. Chapter 25, verse number 54. So, at the end, Muslim, they say Islam is against fornication. Islam is a religion of fornication. In fact, there's no punishment of having sex with your mother. It's forbidden for you to have sex with your mother. But what if you do? No punishment. And I can show you the reference. No punishment for having sex with the daughter, with the mother, with the sister, with the auntie, with the grandmother. No punishment. Zero. لا حد عليه. This is what the most accurate opinion says. That is Islam. So they do not know who is Allah. They do not know what they worship. They just worship names and ideas. And the main point of this garbage cult is Muhammad. They worship Muhammad. They don't care really for Allah. You see, you will see Muslims, they go crazy because you insult Muhammad. But if you insult Allah, nobody cares. In the Middle East, you say the F word to Allah day and night. In the street, nobody get angry. Nobody. You hear it in the street, F Allah, F Allah, F Allah. Nobody get angry. But you don't see anyone saying F Muhammad because they will kill you. Because they worship Muhammad. But those days are changing. And now everybody is F-ing Muhammad in the Middle East. Sound like it? From their fruits you shall know them. I want to say thank you all for being here. And please leave your comment. And I would like to see some Christians sharing with us in the comment, refuting the Muslims. I like to see Christians learning how to argue and get Muhammadan busted. Like if you remember, there is a comment, it says, Christianity will make sense if the Christians, the Old Testament mentioned the name, the Trinity, mentioned the name of Jesus. How come Adam did not mention Jesus? How come Abraham did not mention? How come Moses? If you go and read the comment, you will see how stupid the one who wrote it. Because we can use his logic against their own. First of all, who said it does not mention? The name Yeshua is the name of God. It's coming from the name of God. Do you know what Yeshua means? Go search in Google. Search in Hebrew and you will see what does that exactly mean. So each time you say God, you are saying Yeshua. Each time you say Yeshua, you are saying God. So Abraham, he worshipped Yeshua. Adam, he worshipped Yeshua. Moses, he worshipped Yeshua. Jesus said, I am, I am, I am. Moses, he said, what I will tell my people, what I will say to them. Jesus, the Messiah, he says, I am the living God. I am the truth. I am the way. I am the resurrection. And no one can go to the Father but by me. So they say, how come never mentioned? Who said it's not mentioned? And now we ask you, how come Moses never mentioned the Kaaba? How come Moses never mentioned Allah? How come Abraham? Where we can find the name of Allah in the Bible? A Muslim might say to you, in the translation of the Indonesian, in the Arabic translation for the Bible, those are false translations. Allah nowhere to be found in the scriptures. So they are asking how come the name of Jesus did not appear in the Old Testament, which is false. But in fact, never mention the name of Allah. Never mention any of Islamic names. Even Muhammad could not even quote the name of the Messiah correctly. So their logic can be used always against them. Just think carefully before you answer back. You know? Other guy, he said, well, the Jews never worship anyone beside Allah. The Jews are monotheists like Muslims, not like you Christians. But isn't it the Quran said? So I said, okay, hold on. So the Jews never did. The same as the stupid Mimi Hijab, he said to David Wood. But David Wood was not, is not good in debating, so he did not get him busted right away. The Quran says, Uzair is the son of Allah. The Jews, they say so. When Mimi Hijab, he said, not a single Jew believed that God has a son. That's the Quran. The Jews believe, all of them, that Uzair have a son, Uzair is son of Allah, and the Christian believe that Messiah. And by the way, neither the Jews, neither the Christian believe in Allah anyway. And we don't believe that there's someone. We cannot even find the word Uzair in the Bible. Where? Who's Uzair? Not a single time can be found. And not a single Jew remember anything about worshipping. And look at the translation, by the way, is a lie. They say Isra. There's no such a name. In Arabic, it says Uzair. This is why you have to be careful when the Muhammadan they translate. They lie. They change name. They switch name. So they can find a place for you to believe in something is not there. Nowhere it says Isra. This is Uzair. Uzair. Look what they say. Isra. There is no such a thing. Same time, even Isra, there is not there. This is a priest. It is Uzair. How Uzair became Isra? There is a huge difference. Like, are you saying to me that even the Jew, that the Muhammad, he called the name and Allah called the name wrong? If the Jews call him Isra, then why you stupid you call him Uzair? I mean, even when they try to bend words, even that is a proof to us that Islam cannot be from God. Are you saying to me that your God got the name wrong? He's quoting the Jews wrong? Because if the Jews believe in Isra, then they say Isra. Why you say Uzair? This is how stupid this cult is. However, stupid cult always can find stupid followers, like any cult in the world. You will hear men who they claim to be prophet of God today, and even they claim to be Christians, and they claim that they prophesy and they are prophet, and people believe in them. And those prophets, they collect money, donation, wealth over the poor ones. We do not need prophets. No more prophet to come. I can prophesy in the name of God, but does not make me prophet. I can prophesy based on the Bible says God, he said this, but I cannot claim to be prophet. We do not need prophet. Those are false people trying to fool you. Always remember, a person he claimed to be a prophet of God, what he will give us beside the scriptures. Isn't it the Bible says, let him be cursed, the one who bring other than this scriptures? Is that correct, people? Isn't it the Bible says, let him be cursed, the one who bring other than this scriptures? The answer is yes. So if somebody claiming to be a prophet, then he have to bring scriptures. And if he does so, then he is cursed. Are you with me? Do you understand what I'm saying? If I am prophet, true prophet, then I will receive scriptures. But the Bible says clearly, let him be cursed, the one who bring other than this scripture. So this is the last, there's no more scriptures. That's it. There's no scriptures after this. There's no more Bibles. There's no more Quran. There's no stupid. No, that's it. So this is how you know from the beginning that anyone who claimed to be a prophet, he is a scam. It's a big business. But always you will find a bunch of fools who someone smarter than them, he can fool them. He take their money, he rip their wealth, and even he sleep with their women. And the example is Muhammad. So let him be cursed, the one who bring other than these scriptures. For us as a Christians, there is no scriptures to follow, to listen to from anyone, no prophet, except the scriptures we have in our hands. So don't fall into their false claims. And even if somebody, by the way, mentions something will happen in the future and it happened, that doesn't change anything, because it can happen even by mistake. I say something, it happened. It can happen. Why not? And remember, even the Messiah warned us that even they will do miracles. Shaitan, Satan, is powerful. He can support them, and he will support them. Don't listen to them. Again, from their fruits you shall know them. A person who asks for your money, your wealth, and your maybe your women, obviously he is a cult leader. He is a scam. You will notice that all the disciples of Jesus, they were poor, they were very humble, they don't have slaves and servants, they don't own horses and glory. They were very poor people. They work hard to support themselves, to feed themselves. If we compare between those who claim to be today serving God and this, the story of each one of those disciples, or even the early church father, you will see we can't even compare. People today who work in religion, they are rich, they are filthy rich. They live in palaces, they drive the most expensive cars, yet they claim that they are serving God. If I want to claim to be a priest or a prophet like Muhammad, then I should be devoting my life for the sake of the service, not having too many women in my bed and taking the fifth from the booty. And you cannot see me unless you pay me. That is not a man of God. A man of God, he worked for free. The Lord will provide him. A man of God, he asked for no wealth. What Jesus said? If you cannot be a servant, you cannot be a master. When he washed the feet, they said to him, Lord, we will not let you wash the feet. He said, if you don't let me, you don't know. I don't know you. You don't know me. I don't want you. If you cannot be a servant, you can't be. So a servant in Christianity is a master, and a master is a servant. Today, we have people who need drivers who claim to be priests, driving fancy cars, the same as the Sheikh, the same as Muhammad. Wealth, richness, women. A lot of the glory of the men today. All of this because he claimed that he is serving God. But the truth is, a servant of God, he will never seek any of those things. What about a church tradition of a church father being practiced? I don't know, what are you talking about? RCC, I'm not sure what does that mean. And Agabi, you are back. You always make stupid comment. We don't care about tradition. We are talking about people seeking tradition, seeking glory, the men, individual, seeking glory for their own benefit, either money or property or all kind of benefit which have nothing to do with God. Jesus never get paid for resurrecting people from death, for healing people. Same as the disciple. They don't get paid. They don't sign contract with people to, if you want us to serve in your church, then you pay us. If you want me to make a seminar in your church, then how much you will pay me. This is not God work. People who serve God will never even mention the money when they serve you. People they give, this is their gift. It is their gift. But you don't go and say, I will not do this unless you pay me. That obviously is a businessman. So the disciple of Christ and the church father, they were serving the people, the poor, before the rich. The poor before the rich. The one who was not able to walk, he was not a rich man. He was a beggar in the street. Jesus made him walk. The blind man is the same. Those are not worthy rich. Even when he helped the rich person, he did not get paid. What the Lord said, from their fruits you shall know them, is the best way to know anyone. Those who seek reward, yet they claim that they are serving God, they are not serving God. They are serving the reward. You are what you seek. The one who seeks God, the Lord will provide you. The Lord is a provider. And if he is a person who believes in God, God will help. God will not let you go down. So why they are putting conditions and asking for money? And this is how we know that Muhammad is false. He favored himself by sex. Favored himself even above the Islamic law. Like the Muslim, they can have 4. He can have unlimited wives. The Muslim, they have to have witnesses for marriage. You don't need witnesses. Which means it's adultery, because in Islam, if you don't have witnesses for the marriage, it is a fornication. All the privilege, Muhammad, if his eyes fall into a woman, her husband must divorce her. It's a clear evidence that he is a cult leader. He is a sexual predator. Can you give me advice? My name is Muhammad. I accepted Jesus Christ, our Lord, our Savior. My friend, I don't know what advice I can give you. Good for you first. I'm happy for you that you become Christian and you left the cult of Muhammad. But if you can help me to tell me what do you want me, what kind of advice you are seeking, my friend? Advice in what? Life is full of issues. So what is the advice you are looking for? You need to help me. But as a new Christian, if you are new, the advice is, the first thing you should do, don't try to understand Christ based in your background as a Muslim. Because the Muslims don't have the same Christ. The Christ in Islam is totally different person. Totally. He's just a toy, a display. Like we put him in the table for some time. He made some show in the circus, like, he walked in the water, he raised people from death. Oh, show, it's a show time. And then his duty is over. That is not our Christ. So never try to understand Christianity based on your background as a Muslim, because everything you learn about Jesus in Islam is absolutely false. Same time, don't think about words we have in the Bible the same way you think about it in the Quran. As an example, fornication is a word used by both. But in Islam, fornication does not mean fornication. As an example, they call it marriage. You do muta, they call it marriage. You do zawaj of friend, they call it marriage. You sleep with women for one night, you just bring 2 witnesses just for fun, and they call it marriage. This is a fornication. So we might use the same words as in the dictionary, but we don't have the same meaning. I hope you understand. And I see even many Christians, they are confused. They think when, as an example, Muhammad, he said genie, the Christian, they think he is talking about demon. Muslims don't believe in demon, and genie are not demon. Genies are not spirit. They are creatures, fiction creatures created from fire, and they have a penis and a vagina, and they have sex, and they eat. So we need to filter many and wrong understanding. Like many naive Christians think that Ishmael is the father of the Arab, which is absolutely false. Big false. But they heard that someone said it once in a church, and then they are the same as the Muslim, copy paste. Every church in the world say the Arab from Ishmael. Why? We do not know. When the Bible says it clearly that Hajar, when she came back, she married her son to an Egyptian woman. So how she married him to Egyptian women? Egyptian are African. Egyptian today is mixed with the Arab today because the Muslim occupy them. But in the time of Ishmael, those are pure Egyptian. They have their own language. They have nothing to do with Arab, and they are not Arab. Never. So Egyptian family, Egyptian women, marrying her son to an Egyptian wife. How in the world he is the father of the Arab? You ask those fools how they do that. So there's many things we need to clear when we think about the scriptures, and we should not allow Islam to mix with our belief. All right. Anything else? What about paying our death in the church? Yeah, why not? You support the church. Why not? I'm not saying don't support the church. No, no, no. I'm saying don't support a scammer. No, we should support the church. So if we don't donate to the church, who donate? Where the money will come from? No, this is not what I said. I said there is men, they claim to be the men of God, and they want to get wealthy. They want to have a high salary to work as a priest. They ask for a salary. You know, a person who is serving God should not ask for a salary. People donate. Whatever they give, he is happy. But a man, he asks for a salary. He asks for, like, it happened many times. Like, I am invited to a seminar. They ask me, is it okay if we reserve for you in 4-star hotel? But, what? How much you charge for the seminar? Why I will charge? Why in the world I will charge? The last seminar I went to, I did not even use the water in the fridge. They told me that this room reserved in the name of the church. So don't worry. Anything you take from the fridge, the bill will go to us. I did not touch even the water inside. I went to McDonald's and I ate a sandwich. I know that this hotel is expensive. They would charge them God knows how much. Yeah, McDonald's, Leicester Street. I went, $5-6, the problem solved. So, but there is men, they will not go anywhere unless you pay them a lot of money. What happened to Arab for Christ channel? It is there. What happened to it? It's there. All right. Anyone have a question? Anything else? Let us see. Can you explain quickly the tafsir of Samarkandi Surah 2 verse? Maybe next time, my friend. Like, we are done now. But we hope next, as you see, when you ask a Muhammadan about his religion, about his prophet, they don't have any answer. Never. Arab for Christ 666. Silly people. But maybe I chose it this way because I am a person exposing the Antichrist. 666, Mr. H is worried about the 666. Stupid people. The reason we created Arab for Christ channel, because Muslims, they use Arabic class to convert people to Islam. So I made this. It's for free. You can learn how to speak Arabic. It doesn't cost you any money. You learn how to write. You learn how to read. And it's for free. Totally for free. Some people, they cannot fool you. Muslims will not be able to convert you to Islam by fooling you about Arabic, teaching Arabic. They use Arabic teaching as a way to get into your head. That's what they do. That's why I decided to start that channel. And I see many naive, they keep saying, how come it says 66? I don't know, I don't remember how. Maybe Google suggests that, I don't know. But maybe I choose it. What is that a big deal for you? What if I change the name of this channel? It says Arabian Prophet 666. I mean, people are really stupid. We are the one who is fighting against the Antichrist. And this is all what you come with? Who is the one here fighting against the Antichrist? You? You potatoes? And I will keep it there, 666. You like it or not? Drink from the ocean. Stupid people. It's not by talk, it's by action. And we are the last one who care for what people say. Our actions speak what we believe. From their fruits you shall know them. And the dummies here and there, they don't count for us. Here we witness thousands and thousands of Mohammedan leave Islam and accepted the Messiah. Here we see how Islam is defeated. On September 1st, all Christians apologetics meeting in Resend Answer channel. I know you like to be alone, but please come for a few minutes. No, I don't like to be with any apologist, and I'm not a fan of those conferences. For me, I don't find them useful anyway. I find them just a waste of money and a waste of time. But anyway, people do what they think is right. For me, I believe it's not right. The disciple of Christ, each one of them, he went in different direction. And then at that time, life is different. Life is hard. Communication is very difficult. And like now, you send an email after 2 seconds, a person who lives in the end of the world, he will receive it. Even then, they don't do what they are doing today, and there is no need. If we are really focused in what we do, let us say I want to teach youth, about something. Nobody come to watch conference, really. Anyone go to watch conference? It's a waste of time. Like I saw a video made by David Wood a few days ago, not last 2 weeks ago. They have a conference. How many people watched the video? Nobody. But a short video he make, 50,000 saw it. Conference, nobody go watch. So those conferences, maybe they can be useful, but today we are in the age of the internet. And in order to bring people, you have to have, let us say, a kind of a personal relationship with them. Not a conference for everybody. People like to hear their name. People like to feel that they are like exist in the conversation. Like now, you say to me something in the chat, I respond to you. So conferences, I believe it's a waste of time and waste of resource. Like you fly all of them coming from everywhere, sitting in a hotel, paying for food. Why? For me, I don't think it's Or, but anyway, that's what they think. It might be good, and I'm wrong. All right, Mad. Good for you, my friend. We pray for you. Again, everyone of us, he have his own way. Uh, my way maybe is not the correct way. Maybe their way is the correct way. But I believe that all of us, we are delicious fruit in the table of the Lord, and everyone do as he think he is doing best. So we appreciate them for sure. Many videos in Arab for Christ were removed today. No, nothing removed. Not Arab for Christ. Maybe you are talking about different. Maybe you are talking about my channel here. I did took a lot of videos off. Yeah. Let me check. No, there is nothing removed. Yeah, they are there. Maybe you are confused about what channel. This channel, I took videos from it. I don't keep videos on my channel. So you will find a lot of videos are gone. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Can Shia Hadith be reliable? There's nothing called reliable. Reliable in Islam is a moody stuff. So, as an example, the Shia don't accept al-Bukhari unless the Bukhari support the Shia belief. Hypocrite, Same as a Sunni. If the Hadith of the Shia support their belief, they take it. And the word reliable, it's not exist in Islam. Even the Shia believe this Quran is not the true Quran. The Quran of Fatima is the true Quran, which is Al-Mahdi. He took it with him in the cave, which is a fiction story. Okay, anything else? If only I had known the teaching of CP from long time ago, I would have told to proclaim the truth to my family. Well, now you know. Now you are learning. Now we have books, we have videos, and I saw Sahih Shia Hadith saying the Quran originally had 17,000 verse. Well, we have Sahih Hadith from Umar saying the Quran was 1,025,000 verse. 1,000,000. Yeah. Which is obviously maybe more than 90% of it is gone. But for me, I don't care really how much Quran is gone. What we care for is what is left over. What is left over, actually, I don't care to say to Muslims, your Quran is corrupt. That will not help me in nothing, I prefer that Muslims who believe Quran never corrupt, for then they have no excuse. In fact, you will notice, since like maybe 6, 7 years ago, the Muslims, when they are in the corner, they start saying, oh, this verse cannot be from the Quran, it's corrupted. Why do they do that? So they can escape the proof that Islam is false. So for me, I don't focus in the corruption of the Quran because it doesn't help. And I mean, how you can corrupt a corrupt anyway? All right. You see, when the Muslims they speak about the Bible corruption, we laugh because the Quran speak against that. And the whole idea of corruption in the Bible is very funny because how in the world the Christians agree around the world to corrupt one book? That who will believe in that? Who will accept anyway? How you can make hundreds of millions agree to corrupt a book? Remember, Christianity spread everywhere from the beginning. So we have the Ethiopian from the early churches. We have Indian early churches. We have the Greek. We have the Syrian. We are talking about different nations. They speak different languages in different territory, far from each other. How they can agree to corrupt their book? And why in the world people who died for their faith, they will corrupt their book? Who in the world want to believe in such a thing? That is a very stupid statement. But because they don't know what to do, their prophet obviously is false, and they need to find him here. They cannot find him. They cannot find him in the Bible. That's the whole idea. If the name of Muhammad is exist in the Bible, they will say it's a good book. Please answer me, my brother. What Islam education? What do you want? I did not see your question. I'm going back in the text. I don't see any question from you. Anyone see a question from Islam education? I don't see. Why are Christians not being Christians? That's very funny statement. Who is the one who says so? What make a Christian not a Christian? You cannot be Christian and not a Christian at the same time, either a Christian or not. Why Christian be not Christians? That is very silly. If you don't follow Jesus, you are no Christian. If you follow Jesus, you are Christian. So how you say why Christian are not Christians? No, I don't have this code. If you are saying why some people who have a Christian names, they don't act like Christians, well, they are not Christians. Christians is not a name only, it's a person who live as a Christian. Isn't it Jesus says, not everyone says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of my Father, but the one who does his will? Very simple. There's many people in this earth. There's many. They live for themselves. They never do good to the Lord. They never try to help even a person who serves the Lord. Everything you do, present who you are. For us, the Bible means basic information before leaving earth. What is the meaning of the Quran? I understand, like people, they say those things like the Bible is basic information before leaving the earth, but I don't agree. The Bible is not information. It's not. It's very wrong to say such a statement. It's just like a guideline. No. The Bible is a living story of the living God. When we say the Gospel of John, speaking of what? Speaking of Jesus coming to this earth. That is not a basic information. That is the living God who come to this earth, and we live through his life by his living word. He said, the earth and the heaven will be demolished, will be destroyed, but my word will not. So never disrespect the word of the Lord and say it's a basic information. It's not. Christianity is a life, is not a yellow pages. is not instructions. It's a life you live. Do you understand? Did you ask yourself why the Bible says in the beginning it was the Word, and the Word was with God, and then the Word became a flesh? Why the Word? What is the secret of the Word? For the Word is not a basic information. The Word is God Himself. God and His Word is not different. You know who you worship by knowing the Word, and that is Jesus. The Word became a flesh. So the Word, which is the Messiah, is not a basic information, is the living God, the walking, talking, living Messiah. I was very upset about, is it true that the key holder of the resurrection church in Jerusalem is Muslim? Yes, true. But now it's like, this is since the Muslim, they occupy Jerusalem. And the Israeli government, they support the Muslim to keep the key with them. Just to let you know. The Israeli government, actually, they give the Muslims a charge until now of a lot of our churches. Since the time of Umar, they did not bring them back to the Christians. Christians cannot have them back. The Muslims are in control in Jerusalem until now. And the reason for that, because the Israeli government, Jews, they don't want the Christians to be even in Jerusalem. In fact, they prefer to have Muslims in Jerusalem, but not the Christians. Why? Because a lot of Jews are converting to Christianity. So, on the other hand, let us say they are still acting as Antichrist. They never change. And I'm talking about those who reject Jesus. If Muhammad is the last prophet, what is the reason for Muslims waiting for the Mahdi? Mahdi is just a fiction story. There is no such a thing. Mahdi is just another legend. A woman, her name is Maryam. She resembled Jesus' mother, Mary. She gave birth to a guy from her thigh, not from her vagina. I mean, just a stupid story. Islam is full of stupid stories. None of them is, and what this Mahdi would do exactly. And this Mahdi, he came and then he hid in the cave and then he will come back with the true Quran. What a story. Never believe in such a garbage. Mahdi. What he would do exactly, this Mahdi? I mean, how the Muslims, they say that Muhammad is the last prophet, and then there's a guy, his name is Mahdi, which means the guidance. That means a prophet. All right, anything else? The Mahdi, when he was born, when he fell in his ass, he never cried. He say, Alhamdulillah. The Mahdi, when he is baby, when he fart, his fart is musk. When people, they smell his fart, they praise Allah. The Mahdi, he never, I mean, those are, stories for the gullible ones. The kind of people who believe anything. Did the story of Mahdi even appear in the Sunni Islam? Yes, there's very few stories about the Sunni about the Mahdi. But the Muslims are not too much interested in the Mahdi. The Shia are the one who they are, and they have a lot of fiction stories about it. The Mahdi is a, it's like a way of deception, like wait for something to happen. It's like to give you hope, it's like tomorrow. It's the same as anything in the Middle East. And by the way, already there's many Mahdis, they came. There's the Mahdi who occupied the Kaaba, if you remember. I think this was a long time ago. He occupied the Kaaba, and the Saudi, they asked the American Marines to help them to take over the Kaaba. And then there's many Mahdi came in Iraq, many Mahdi in Egypt, many Mahdi in Turkey, many Mahdi everywhere. If I go right now, type the word Mahdi, there's a sheikh right now, actually. He announced himself as a Mahdi. This is a few years ago, and he have a lot of supporters. Let him see. Just to show you. Like even Mirza Ghulam, he claimed that he is the Mahdi and he is the Messiah in the same time. Like you see, I just type in Google. There's tons of men claiming to be the Mahdi. Let me use Google translation. All those videos speaking about people who now in our lifetime claim to be the Mahdi. All right? Do you see it? Those things, you see them in the Middle East every, almost every month or every year, or, yeah, there's tons of Mahdis. Hey, everybody is Mahdi. And, the gullible one, they believe anything. It's like, Ahmed Mirza Ghulam, when he claimed that he is the Messiah, but he was married for 3 years. I mean, he changed his gender. Imagine, he was married for 3 years, and then after 3 years, he became Christ. And he was the Mahdi in the same time. The Christian, they come to Ahmed Mirza Ghulam, and they told him, okay, you are the Messiah, as you claim, then do what the Messiah does. They brought him, he opened his door in the morning. He found like 50, 60 disabled person, blind, all kind of illness, He said, what is this? He said, aren't you the Messiah? Well, do what the Messiah does. Heal them. He closed his door and he went inside again. He cannot. Here we go. Suddenly the Messiah, he is in India. And he speak Urdu. And he have an Indian father. And he was married for 3 years. And then, brother, now this guy in the middle, he is the one, the caliphate of the Mahdi. The Mahdi, Ahmed Mirza is the one with the black and white picture. Yeah, I mean, you can, and the British intelligence, they supported him. And then the guy, he have a sect. And the whole idea is to make his followers join the British army. Very simple. Yeah. And now there's many, I don't know how many million, 50 million, 40 million, I'm not sure. They believe in him. But the irony is, when you ask the Muhammadan, how many Muslims is, they count everybody. They count even the Mahdi, the Ahmadiyya people. And then this guy, he died because of diarrhea. He was infected with cholera. I know there's a Mahdi in Sudan, there's a Mahdi everywhere. But the funny is, this guy who claimed to be the Messiah, he died literally because of shit. He have non-stop diarrhea caused his death. I mean, imagine you claim to be the Messiah and then you die because of diarrhea. That is really horrible. The Messiah who can heal millions of people, how you are the Messiah? Okay, can't you stop even the diarrhea? And not only that, they say that he fell down from his bed over his shit. Because he keep having diarrhea, they have like a container underneath of him. So when he died, he fell from his bed over his shit. They took him literally from his shit. And then the Ahmadiyya, they say in their website that that was not a proof of anything, you know, which means they admit this is what happened. He died because of the area. He fell over his shit. What do you mean this is not a proof of anything? And you will find actually the same story of Muhammad. What is the last thing Muhammad he did? Anyone remember before he died? Anyone remember? He asked Aisha for the dish to piss. He pissed and he died. Someone asking how you explain predestination. We Christians don't believe in predestination, even if the word mentioned in the Bible, but it does not mean what it sounds. Predestination in the Bible is about the following. You did not choose to be Adam. God destiny for you to be created as Adam. I'm talking about Adam, the first man. God told Adam, don't do this, don't do that. That is not a choice, which means this is a destiny. Which means if you do this, you go to hell. If you do that, you stay in heaven. That's it. This is the only destiny we have. So when the Bible says that I choose you before you choose me, because God, He chose people first, and He get them tested. You will find in the Bible that Abraham being tested, Paul being tested, all the disciples of Jesus being tested. So they are chosen, yes, but they've been tested. So if God chose me to be serving Him, still I have to be tested and pass. Even Israel. What's the name of Israel? It's about a person who was tested. So the predestiny in the Bible have nothing to do with the predestiny in Islam. Predestiny, even the chosen one, the very elect, they will be tested. Starting from Adam, ending by you and me. I hope I explained to you. When the Messiah said, not everyone says to me, Lord, Lord, but the one who do His will. What does that mean? It means your will, you know, you voluntarily do the will of God. If you do your own will against the will of God, then you don't go to heaven. Is it okay not to eat pork? Who cares about what you eat? The Lord, He says, is not what go inside your mouth. It is what comes from your mouth. That is important. If you eat pork and you speak good, who cares? If you eat even shit and you are a good person, I mean, what the business of anyone? So my friend, the wisdom is, when the Old Testament forbid pork, that was for a reason. There's animals who eat anything and nobody knows what they are eating. So they can transmit diseases. At that time, people can get killed and thrown in the, even they have in next to Jerusalem, the Roman used to crucify people and throw them there. They throw them there, and dogs and pigs and etc. come and eat them. So it was for a reason. But it's not because it's a pig, but because of what they eat. However, it's not food what will make you a good person. Food never made good people. To make it simple for you, chicken eat shit. We eat chicken. As simple as that. You like it or not, it's true. So, are you going to stop eating chicken? For sure you will not. Even tomato, vegetables, do you know how they grow? They put fertilizer for them, and the best fertilizer is shit. Excuse my language. Vegetables, they flourish if you give them poop. Is that correct? So, only naive ones, they think that the food is what makes you a good person. Food is about health. It's not about you being a good person. If a man, he is homeless, he did not take a shower for a month. He don't have food. I mean, he don't have a house. Okay, what he would do? you can imagine how bad his smell. If I bring you such a man, and I bring you a priest, and the priest, he is so clean, or a sheikh, so clean, so neat, shampoo, perfume, but he's a child molester, he's a liar, he's a scammer. Which one is better? The homeless who harm nobody? Nobody. This is why he's homeless, actually. If he is scammer, he will not be homeless. Can confirm, but shared account shall also make good fertilizer. I'm not sure what does that mean. Shredded coconut. Sorry, shredded coconut. Yeah, I don't know. I don't live in the Philippines to know about coconut. But anyway, it's only naive ones. They think that food will make you a better person. It doesn't. It's about health. If I can eat good food, healthy food, that will make me a better chance to have a healthy body. But a person who is being good or bad, what does have to do with food? How many of you, your own children, betray you? Your children, they ate with you. They ate from your breast. They drank your milk. You fed them. They were in your womb for 9 months. They betray you. What does have to do with good and bad? All right. Never think about God, in a like an earthly way. He don't, I mean, are we really clean? If you take a shower, like the Muslims, they do ablution, and this is something they took from other people. If I take a shower from now until tomorrow, non-stop, isn't it true that in my stomach there is something not right? We agree, right? This is what a living body is. You go to pee when you have a lot of pee, not because you don't have no more pee. Like when you pee, it doesn't mean everything is gone. It's still your body inside. You smell bad. If you open what is inside your body, you will get disgusted yourself. So the word clean, it's not really about cleaning of the body, because it doesn't matter what you do, your body cannot be clean. Your tongue is more filthy than a toilet seat, full of bacteria. Your body is full of bacteria, useful or bad. So no human can be clean and will never be clean. The only thing can make you clean is being clean from sin. The rest is the last thing God is worried about. Clean your tongue, clean your thought, clean your mind, clean your purpose of life. This is what makes you clean. It's not a food. If you start thinking this way, you will live like a Jew or like the Muslims. They are obsessed with rules, and they think that this is the best way it is. They take the words in the Bible literally, but they don't really follow the Bible. As an example, if there is a list of food in the Old Testament is forbidden. Which one is more ugly? to lend people money and take interest or to eat pork? Which one is doing harm? You give people money and then you ask them for a lot of interest, destroying their future. The person is desperate for money. He needs money. He will need to borrow. He borrow from you. You say to him, I will charge you 30%, 40% interest. So which one is the ugly one? The one who eat pork or the one who take interest and suck the blood of people? I'm sure you know the answer. In fact, for me, I will be worried to have a friend. He claimed to be religious by being so strict with food. That is a bad sign for me. The good sign is he is so strict with behavior, not food. Behavior, how he treat people, how he deal with people, how he deal with the money, how he help, how he is humble, how he is trustworthy. His food is not my business. What people eat in their dishes is not my business. All right? Always, always, I find that always people who claim to be religious, they are hypocrite. You notice that they're hypocrite because they focus too much on food. Like he want to show you that he is really a religious person. So what he do? He show you that he is fasting. He show you that he is following the command of God. That's why Jesus said, if you fast, put water in your face and don't let people know. Why people need to know that you are fasting? So you notice that the Pharisees, who they are very supposedly religious, they fast and they tell everybody should know, the same as the Muslims, that they are fasting. You want to pray? They pray in the corner. So everybody knows that they are praying. And the Muslims do the same, amazingly. The Messiah, he warned us not to be like them. Never be. So when somebody claims to be religious and he is so much focusing on the food, I believe he is not focusing on God. God first, people first. Love your neighbors as you love yourself. Love your enemy. Not what to eat, what make you good. What come from your mouth, not what go inside your mouth. All right? All right. I think we have enough for today. How I can be good by fasting. Fasting is for my best, to control myself, to learn how to fight temptation maybe. But it's not about you. Fasting is not for God. You don't fast for God. What does that have to do with your fasting? Anything you do, actually, you don't do it for God. You do it for yourself. But the difference is, I have intention to help you, but by helping you, my intention is not to help me, is to help you. So by helping you, I'm helping myself. How? As the Bible says, when you did it for me, you did it for me, you did it for them. When Jesus says, I was hungry, I was thirsty, I was a prisoner, I was a stranger, you took me in. He said, Lord, when we did this to you, he said, when you do it to my brothers, you do it to me. So the intention is to do it to the brothers. By doing it to the brother, because you love to do it, not because you want to go to heaven, not because you are selfish, you like to be with Jesus only. You're not doing it because you like it. You don't donate because you want to donate, but because you want to go to heaven. If you donate for that purpose, you are not going to heaven. Simply, you are just a fraud, trying to bribe God. You think you can fool him. You are just acting. You don't believe in it. A believer is someone who gives donation from his heart, but he is not thinking about, if I give donation, I go to heaven. A person who helps a poor person because he is convinced as a Christian, I should help this poor, not because if I help him, I will go to heaven. So your intention should be doing good, for you are following the good God. From their fruits you shall know them. If you do good for your benefit, so you help somebody because you think that will do you a favor to go to heaven, that is a fraud. A Christian is a person who do any best he can to help others based on love to them, not love to himself. And then because he is providing love come back. The intention of a Christian man give definition of he is a Christian or not, or a woman. If a woman, she love her son because her son one day will grow and then he will support her and pay the bills, she don't love him. She's investing. This is not love. She is just investing that the son one day will grow and he will become a man and then he will pay. But if she is doing whatever she can, regardless if her son one day will support her or not, that means she loves him. And that is the love we are talking about. A love with no return seeking. Same as Jesus. He did not ask for return. Nothing. What does it mean to be filled by the Spirit? It's exactly what we just said, Maggie. If you are filled with the Spirit of love, you give the Spirit of love a fruit. So if we as a Christian, why we believe in born again? What born again mean? You are born again with the new living, let us say, target. So the Spirit will be with you, within you, the Holy Spirit, and you will be acting based on that. You see, you as an animal, a human being is an animal and a human at the same time, which means when you have a soul, you are just an animal. When you have the Holy Spirit, you are a human being. The animal, he acts to survive. He acts for his own pleasure. People go to nightclub for what? They want to have fun. He's not going there to do charity. The person who has the Spirit, he might go in front of nightclub to preach. So both of us, we are going to nightclub, but one is going there to save the losers, and one is going there to be a loser. Are you with me? So we can be going to the same exact place, but yet we have totally the opposite mission. You can be a preacher going to an area full of prostitutes, and your target is to speak to them. Or you can be a person who is looking for a prostitute. Both are men going to the same place. What makes the difference is what the target of each man is. One, he want to have sex, and the other one, he want to preach to them. So can we say they are both the same? Uh, Thank you, Maggie. I don't have a ministry. I'm nobody. You know, people they keep saying you're a ministry. I'm not. I'm not a priest. I'm not a. I'm nobody. I'm just like you. I do my best to understand and to explain. I don't have any ministry. I'm not a minister. I'm not a priest. I don't claim to be any title to me. Actually, I refuse to be given any of those titles. I don't deserve them. I don't deserve any of those nice titles. Minister, ministry. I'm not. You know, I don't deserve them. Help me with Ezekiel. Well, my friend, I mean, why it's what do you mean? Help me with Ezekiel? How come a person he read the Gospel or Old Testament, and then he's stuck only with the last verse? If you read that chapter, the last verse explained by the chapter itself. Did you jump to the last verse without reading the first verses and the second verses and the third verses? Read them. Same time, there's a commentary for all those verses in the Bible. You know, I cannot believe really there is somebody, he need to understand a verse in the Bible and he is so much desperate to know it, and he did not search the internet for what it's meant. If you go there, you will find it's talking about repenting and how the children of Israel, they are worshiping wrong gods. You know, and who is the one will be saved and how they can be saved. So how come we stuck at the end? There's men in the Old Testament, their name is mentioned. And because they did a great service, they will be delivered. I don't know why it's hard. You know, like, is it surprise to say that Noah is delivered? Is it hard to say that Job is delivered? That's why God, he chosen them and he tested them. There is a Hindu priest in India saying originally the Kaaba was built by Hindus in Mecca. Maybe, when somebody says something, he have to provide some evidence. But it's highly possible that the Kaaba have a root of Hindus. Because the black stone is a fertility stone. The Muslims, they wear the same clothing like the Hindu priest. If you go right now, check Hindu priest or Buddha priest, you will see they show the same shoulder, they wear the same sheet, they wear the same sandals, and they shave their head. It's exactly the same. Which branch of a Christianity? There's a branches in Christianity. Christianity is following Jesus. Anything else is not Christianity. So the one who follow branches, not Jesus, is no Christian. What branches? I follow Christ. I don't follow a priest. And the church fathers never have a branch. Never. We are Christians. That's what the Bible calls us. No other name. The first name given to us in the Bible is a Christian. And the Messiah, he said, whoever believe in me and I will live. Whoever believe in me, whoever. No church name. And for sure, we cannot quote this verse alone. We have to quote the rest. Whoever believe in me, whoever do as I say, whoever follow my command, whoever walk my walk, whoever cover my cross, whoever obey the Father, he will live. Only naive ones, they focus on names of churches. You know, smart Christian, he will not care if it is whatever name it is. The important is, from their fruits you shall know them. This is why we should know that we should not follow a priest. And this is why I keep saying, don't say to me you're ministry or minister. Or sometimes people call me pastor or CP. I'm not. Because the second you make a person, give him a title, you give him a title, that title can be dangerous. That title can make a new school of thoughts. This is why I don't like those titles. Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormon are not Christians. Very simple. They are just Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't even know who's Jehovah. Same as the Mormon, another cult. All right. Maggie, oh, okay, you said CP is humble and good, which means you fight Islam. And why you are focusing in Maggie? Have you? That's it? You don't see anyone in the chat except Maggie? Hope you see this and can answer me. When the second commandment says about not making images of God, then why some churches they do have them on the cross? Well, as I said, people have different opinion, right? But the Bible is so clear. You make no image, and those images is images to worship. So if you make images to worship the image, it's against the Bible. If you make image, let's say, in the old days, when somebody passed away, the family, they look for someone, he's artist, who knows the person who passed away, and they ask him to draw him. There's no photography. So drawing was a way of remembrance of the one is missed. So if this is the purpose, no problem. If you draw a picture of someone you love, no problem. But if you worship an image, that is idolatry. So we Christian, we refuse any images to be worshipped. However, some churches, they have images, and I believe if they are art, or to explain the Bible, or to preserve the Bible, as they used to do, making a mosaic like small rocks, very wonderful. But if we start kissing the images, crying in front of the images, this is a sign of ignorance, and we should not do that. Especially in those images, they don't even match the one. They have not we do not know how Mary looked like, and even if we know how it looked like, why we need the picture of Mary? What for? So I'm against all kind of those images, unless they are just for the sake of art. Anyway, different person, he can say to you the opposite, and he can give you some reference from the Old Testament that even when they build the temple, they have images of the cherubim and the angels, etc. But still, they don't have them to worship and to pray in front of them. And for me, I give my opinion, and I don't care really who accept or don't. I say it as it is. Anything else? And remember, remember all of us that we as a human, the smart of us is the fool. To make it simple, the more you think you are smart, the more obviously you're a foolish person. Because, our intelligence is really limited and our knowledge is limited. And because of the limitation, our ability is always limited. So when we try our best, let us say, to live as a Christians, each one of us, he have different ability to read, ability to understand, ability to comprehend, ability to feel it. Every one of us, he live in different house, different family, different culture. We have different ages. So when you are a kid, when you are a teenage, you see something, you understand it differently. You like a music today, tomorrow you don't like it. Like if I play for you music you used to listen to it when you are a teenage, today, and you are 70, you will laugh at yourself. So human being, he go through a process. It's like a bread going in the oven. You are a dough, you are a flour mixed with water, and then they knead you, and then they make you round, and then they make you flat, whatever, and then they put you in the oven, and then you became delicious. So before you become delicious, you were all kind of things which is not good to eat. Nobody would like to eat flour. It's so bad. Nobody would like to eat dough. It's so ugly. But everybody like to eat bread. So in order to become a bread, you have to go through all kind of ugly taste. That is you and me. So through life, we taste all kind of ugly stuff. We go through sin, we go through wrong, we go through bad, we go through good. Some of us, we are unlucky, born in bad society, bad family maybe. So they go through different experience. This is why God, he don't judge a group, he judge individuals. For every individual, he go through his own process, his own experience. And this is why in Christianity, God is a special God for each one of us. There is a personal relationship. This is why when we pray, we call him Father. When you are the father, you have many kids. Each one of them is different. There's one of them is so smart. There's one of them is so. There's one of them is so slow. There's one of them is crazy. But still, because you are the father, you love them all. The one who have a mental issue, you try to help him based on his mental issue. The one who is so smart, you deal with him based on his intelligence. He is so smart. You do not need too much care. This is why Jesus said, I came for the sick, not for the healthy. So who is the one who need the care? The sick. Which means, to make it simple for you, in Christianity, God, he care more for the sick. Because those are the one need care. Those are the one need help. Are you with me? In Islam is the opposite. Allah love not those who don't worship him. Allah hate those who don't accept him. Christianity is the opposite. God, he come for those who hate him. It's totally the opposite. Christ is the rescue for the sick one, is the ambulance for the sick one. Allah is the poison. He want to kill them, he want to torture them, fight them, find them. For he's a beast. He have no mercy. He have no love in his heart. He is just a beast. Christ, he love to help. even those who hate him most. Paul himself, he used to go after the Christians. He hated Jesus. He want to go and find whoever believe in Jesus. And then Paul become Paul. So if Jesus did not come for the sick, Paul, when he was sick, he will not be saved. And each one of us have something sick inside him. Our greed, temptation, selfishness, arrogant, proud. I mean, you name it. It's endless. You will see a family, they are in love together until one day the parents died. Suddenly the brothers and sisters, they are literally biting each other like dogs over money. Love is gone. Money is here. Adam is life now. It is good to talk to him. I don't know who is Adam. You mean Adam Seeker? Yeah, he's a good man. You can go into his channel. All right. I hope I answered you. And you know, I do my best to share with you how I think. But always think about God as our Lord. He is a rescuer. He is the one who is watching the beach, who is drowning. But in order to be saved, you have to give him your hand up. So if you decide to become a Hindu or decide to become following the Satan Mohammed, you're free. You can go anywhere you want. But if you feel you are drowning, you better shout to him. He said, knock at my door and I will open for you. Call me and I will answer. So you are drowning in the water, you better put your hand up, ask for help, and he will be there. But if you ask the wrong person to help you, well, it's your fault. You ask Muhammad, you end with Muhammad. You ask Jesus, you end with Jesus. You eat from what you cook, and you harvest what you plant. Thank you all for being here. I hope today we have a good time. And until we see you soon again, may the Lord bless you. Christ is Lord. Islam is a scam. And we prove it every day. Thank you. Take care.